Welcome to the Rundown with Renee. I'm your hostess, Renee. And yeah, already again with the technical difficulties, whatever the case is with, me doing this show or whatever, there's always some kind of drama. I had like a little clip that I was going to play of Dr. Umar. And it's another clip that I have uploaded like 3 times. And, it still hasn't, I don't know. So it may come up, it may not. But we're going to get it in tonight, regardless. We're here on a Friday night, just doing something different, off the cuff, and there's so much going on, so much to talk about. But before we do all of that, and as I'm trying to figure out what's going on, let me introduce my brother who's always riding with me, but Psycho. Peace. What's going on, Psycho?
I'm calling Renee. What's going on with you?
Oh, same old, same old.
That's what's up. Yeah, I'm ready to get it in tonight, especially on this one topic. I was itching to do a show earlier this week, and something came up, so I wasn't able to do it. But I definitely want to address this one topic tonight. I want to shout out everybody in the live chat that's listening. Those don't know, we live streaming on my YouTube channel also. Psychopathiest. That's SYKOPATHEIST. Psychopathiest. But yeah, I'm ready to get it in. Renee, what's good? Friday night. What's going on?
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's do this first. Let's get into your topic first. While, again, I still try to deal with this situation because, it's some information I really want people to hear. Tonight, family, it's not really an open mic, but somewhat, kind of, sort of. There's going to be a variety of issues that we're going to be talking about. If you saw the flyer, on the flyer, I have, let's see, what's my title? Let's get it. No more big refund checks. So we're going to get into this whole tax reform bill that was signed today by the commander-in-chief, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to get into some of the Dr. Umar situation, which I don't know a whole lot about it, but we're going to get into it tonight. And we're going to talk about, I think this next topic is what Brother Psycho wants to go into. So I'm going to just send it over to you so you can, if you want to start off with your topic.
Yeah, well, last Sunday, was, football Sunday, and, all the games went on, according to schedule, nothing really out the ordinary. It was just an average NFL Sunday, right? And then right after the Panthers game was over, it was announced that the Panthers owner, Jerry Richardson, had decided that he was going to put the Carolina Panthers team up for sale. Now, family, y'all need to understand this. The NFL is approaching 100 years of existence, right? Teams don't just go up for sale. Like these owners keep these teams for a very long time. Even when they die, they pass it down to their families and everything else. So very rare do you have an opportunity to actually buy a professional sports team, period. Much less an NFL team. That's probably a league that's the most profitable in this country. You understand? It's the most popular league in this country. It makes the most money. So this is a huge deal. Now, to put this in perspective, you got an NBA team by the Los Angeles Clippers that sold a couple years ago, and this franchise is the bottom of the barrel. This franchise has never won nothing. They made the playoffs a handful of times throughout the course of their existence. You know, they only made it out the first round a couple of times when they did make the playoffs. They really have no history amongst them, but they play in LA and they was able to sell for $2 billion. That's billion with a B. And this is an NBA franchise, and the NBA, whether you like basketball better than football or not, is not more profitable than the NFL. The NFL makes the most money. So if you got a franchise that's never won nothing in the NBA selling for $2 billion, you got the Carolina Panthers. Now the Panthers is only about 20 years old, maybe a little bit over 20, slightly over 20 years old. They been to the Super Bowl a couple of times. They lost both times. They don't have no deep history, but again, it's an NFL team. So this team is going to sell for no less than two. I'm thinking 2.5 billion. And honestly, I'm not. It's going to be a little bit sketchy on that because Jerry Richardson, the guy who's putting it up for sale, he's not even sole owner of the team. He actually only owns 48% of the team, which makes him a majority owner. So at the end of the day, he's a majority owner with 48%, and he's selling his 48%. So whoever buys in also still got a lot of people who got shares into the team. So they're not going to be the sole owners. So this isn't going. It's going to be a little bit different than a normal selling of the team because of this. So again, I'm still thinking it's going to cost at least close to $2 billion just for that 48%. But right after this happens, right now, before I'm jumping the gun, let me get into why he abruptly decided to put the team up for sale. Sports Illustrated either posted an article or is about to post an article exposing him for being a womanizer and a racist, because apparently he's had 4 cases, charges brought up against him for sexual harassment, inappropriate conduct at the workplace, and throwing out racial slurs to people. He paid off 4 different cases to shut these people up and make everything go away nice and quietly. Now, Sports Illustrated gets hold of all this, right? Now, I'm not sure what happened with the racial slur thing. So all I know is a former Panther worker that used to work there, black man, I believe, and something happened between them two, and I believe a racial epithet was thrown at him. Probably called him a nigger. Let's just call it what it is. He probably called him a nigger. I can't confirm it, that's exactly what happened, because this is they kind of staying tight about this. Again, nobody is talk to the person who actually, was the complainant in the case, because he was paid to shut up. And this, that, and third, he was paid off. So I'm not, and they not saying too much. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. But I do know he also has 3 cases filed against him, separate cases that for sexual harassment at the workplace from 3 women, European women, by the way, for you swirlers out there. So I believe they was European. But anyway, I digress. He finds that the NFL was going under investigation about all this and everything else, this, that, and the third. So abruptly he decides he's going to sell the team. Now, we all know this is kind of like bullshit, because we talking about billionaires here, and these dudes are straight narcissists, and they all about themselves, and they don't like being told what to do. So what really happened, I'm going to tell y'all what really happened. These are reports that's coming out. Now, I'm going to tell you what really happened, family. I'm just going to lay it out for you. What really happened was the NFL caught wind that this was about to, shit was about to hit the fan. And they pretty much forced Jerry Richardson to sell the Panthers, because they didn't want to the NFL didn't want to have to deal with the backlash of all this fuck shit. So this was their way of trying to wash their hands with what's going on. So they pretty much forced Jerry Richardson to sell his football team. Like, okay, you sell the team, you make a couple of $1 billion, you walk away. You know, we could just, you know, you walk away, you ain't got to answer any questions, nothing like that, and we get to just, you know, brush this all under the table and it all go away. And that's pretty much what's going on, right? So now that we know all this, and I just threw all that out there, let's get into the other part that I want to grasp onto, because I just wanted to let y'all know what was going on. Now, right after this, P. Diddy gets on Instagram. He discovers that the Panthers up for sale. He gets on Instagram and he decides, you know, I believe his exact words was, you know, I'll be a great NFL owner. You know, I wanna be the new owner of the North Carolina Panthers, which he already messing up because they're not called the North Carolina Panthers. They actually called the Carolina Panthers. You know, because they didn't want to exclude South Carolina, so that's why they only called the Carolina Panthers, because they're supposed to represent North and South Carolina. Anyway, I digress. But he said he wants to be the owner of the North Carolina Panthers, and you know he'll be a great owner. And the first thing he'll do is bring in Colin Kaepernick for some competition and everything else, this, that, and the third. Right now, let me say this: right then and there, he messed up. Even if that's what his goal was, and his goal was to buy the NFL team and sign Colin Kaepernick, he shouldn't have went out publicly and said that. And I'm going to tell y'all why. The reason why is because, first of all, P. Diddy is not going to be able to buy the North Carolina Panthers by himself. He's going to need some help. He's going to need some people with some long bread. You know, I ain't talking about Colin Kaepernick money, because I heard Colin Kaepernick say he want to be one of the owners or whatever. Colin Kaepernick got millionaire money, and not even big millionaire money. He's probably worth maybe a couple million by now at this point in stage of his career. I already told y'all what these teams are going for. They're going for billions of dollars. So that little punk ass little couple of million he got in his bank account ain't going to put a dent in nothing. You know, so like P. Diddy's worth $820 million, I believe they said. $820 million, right? He's not even worth $1 billion yet. He's close, but he's not there yet. So he's going to need some help. You understand? So he's going to need to find some other people with large money to go in with him and, you know, try to form some kind of group or something to buy into this, right? That's first and foremost. That's his first obstacle, is to find people with money long enough to want to go on this venture with him. That's the first problem he got, right? Now, the second problem he's going to have, and this is going to get back to why he should have never said what he said, is they are 32 NFL owners. Now, whenever somebody is coming into the good old boy club, is what I like to call it, which is whenever they're getting ready to join the NFL as one of the owners, they need 26 of the 32 owners to sign off on the new owner coming in. If they can't get 26 of the 32 to agree to this new owner coming in, he won't get in. This is why Donald Trump is not an NFL owner and is president of the United States. Because before Donald Trump decided to run for office of the presidency, he wanted to buy the Buffalo Bills, who was up for sale roughly about 10 years ago, give or take. He wanted to buy the Buffalo Bills. The NFL squeezed him out. He couldn't get enough owners to sign off on it because a lot of the owners don't like Donald. This is why Donald Trump has an infatuation with the NFL today, because he has made multiple attempts to become an NFL owner dating back to the 80s, and the NFL will not let him in. So he has a vendetta against the NFL. I have been screaming this for the longest, just letting y'all know. But anyways, I digress. Let me get back to what I was originally stating. Now, him saying that he was going to let Colin Kaepernick onto the roster, that'll be like one of the first things he was going to do, is not going to help him get any votes from those other NFL owners. You understand? Again, even if that was his plan, I have no issues with that being his plan. He should not have went public with that, because he needs people to sign off on this. And if they are whiteballing Colin Kaepernick from playing in the NFL, what makes you think they even going to entertain the idea of you coming in and either potentially having him have shares in the team or playing on the roster when they don't want him to play in the league? That's pretty obvious. So he messed up from the jump street even stating that. He should have kept that to himself, right? So because of these obstacles I just named, I have a hard time believing that that P. Diddy's going to be able to pull it off. Because these dudes, first of all, I don't think they're ready to let black ownership into the NFL. That's first and foremost. Two, even if they did let a black owner in, I don't think they would want P. Diddy to be that guy. They would want somebody that they could control a little bit more, and P. Diddy isn't necessarily someone who they could control or manipulate. He's going to do things kind of his way. You understand? They're going to want somebody who they can, somebody who's going to get along with the get along. It's the good old boys club. You understand? So, they not really trying to have anybody coming up in there ruffling feathers. So I don't know if P. Diddy's going to be the guy that they're going to sign off for, because, again, it's not as easy as just coming up with the money. It's a little bit more difficult than that. It's a lot more obstacles going on. You understand? Now, with all that being said, I got to touch on this one last thing, then I'm going to pass it over to Renee. Cam Newton was asked about this whole situation, right? Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Cam Newton was asked about this situation in the press conference on Tuesday, I want to say, or was it Wednesday? Either or, one of them days. He was asked at the press conference, what's his opinion about Jerry Richardson suddenly selling the team and all the, reports coming out about his him being a womanizer and being a racist. And don't you know, Cam Newton got on his got on his tap shoes and just started dancing on stage. I mean, it was disgusting, family. He was sitting up there like, well, these are just accusations. I don't know what's going on. These are accusations. I think we should be careful what we say from this point on, because I've been in certain situations where things happened to me and it was only just rumors, and I really don't want to go off of these things that they just rumors and everything else, this, that, and the third, and pretty much looking for nigger snacks. He was up there performing for nigger snacks. He was very protective of his owner. And yes, I mean that literally, his owner. His slave owner. He was protecting him. You understand what I'm saying? Just like a good house nigga. You understand? This motherfucker, he had not one, not two, not three, but 4 settlements that he paid off. Now, if there was one settlement, you might be able to spin it something in my way, like, well, well, maybe he just didn't want no bad publicity, and maybe he just paid it off just so it can go away and this, that, and the third. Okay, well, maybe that's possible. Maybe he ain't want people digging too deep into certain shit. Maybe they find other things besides the thing he was accused of. Okay, I might buy it if it was one. Maybe. You give me 2, you're going to have a harder sell with me on that one if it was 2 accounts. 3 accounts, I'm not believing shit you saying. I don't care what, like 3 accounts, something's going on here. 4 accounts. 4 accounts, and he's up here calling it accusations. He's up here saying allegedly. And this dude, he paid off 4 people. Paid them off. He's paying them off for a reason. It's a sleazy, old, racist dirtbag. That's what he is. And he ain't want that to hit the public's eye. And then, of course, you have Cam Newton up here doing what he do. Again, doing what house niggas do. You understand? Then you got racist ass Jerry Jones. Racist ass Jerry Jones up here like, oh, this is a sad day in the NFL. I feel really bad for Jerry Richardson and all this whole other shit, everything else. Yeah, big surprise. Big surprise. Jerry Richardson is Jerry Jones' little fucking butt buddy. Big shocker, right? The same one who said, all you niggas better stand up for that national anthem or else you ain't playing. And they all got up and did exactly what they slave owner said do. The coonery in the NFL is out of control. Let's just call it what it is. It's disgusting. Cam Newton just got played out and accused by Becky just like what, 2 months ago, a month ago, I would say about what, 2 months ago? Becky just played him out, said he was being a womanizer, and instead the third said he disrespected me and act like the world was coming to an end because Becky said that it was shocking that Becky was asking about pass routes. All of a sudden the world's supposed to stop. Where was Jerry Richardson then? Why Jerry Richardson, his slave owner, didn't get up on a panel and say, that's not the Cam Newton that I know. That's not the Cam Newton that I know. The Cam Newton that I know is a good guy and all this. Why did he do all that? He didn't do none of that. He let Cam fly. But Cam gets his ass up on the panel. This ain't the Jerry Richardson that I know. The Jerry Richardson I know is a good man and blah, 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 and everything else. Go. The same Jerry Richardson that said to you when you first got drafted, before they drafted you, when they interviewed you, before they drafted you, Jerry Richardson walked up to you, looked you up and down and said, you ain't got no tattoos or nothing on you? No piercings? He said, no. He said, good. Keep it that way. And then walked out the room. That was your first impression of Jerry Richardson. You mean that guy? You mean that guy, Cam? Are you serious? Anyways, let me pass this off to Renee. I've been talking too long. I'm sorry, family, but I had to get that in. I've been holding that in for days. What's going on, Renee?
No, good. You went in, and you was on point. You gave an excellent breakdown, of that whole situation, because I know that there were different components, because I heard about the whole thing with the owner and, his whatever sexual harassment, whatever. And of course him being racist, which all of them are. That's not a surprise, but anywho, and he's still in the team. The crazy part about it to me is, a lot of us are very disconnected from what's really going on out here in terms of economics. And we really don't get the picture. So it was people like, P. Diddy gonna get it. Now, mind you, I'm not against that if that was a real thing that really could happen. Mm-hmm. I'm not against that. However, like Psycho broke down, honey, it's a ton of hurdles that you have to go through, and that is intentional.
Right.
That's intentional.
Yep.
So that they can control who is in ownership of what.
Exactly.
We don't get that. That's exactly why, when Pianki called in the other show, and, he was, all you got to do is this and that. They're looking for black people. They're out here handing out opportunities. They're not.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. And if you are a black person and you get to a certain level, it's typically because you were already a part of certain circles. And maybe you had a parent or somebody else who was connected some type of way, and, maybe that's how you got in there. But That's very uncommon, y'all. So it's not to be negative. It's not to be a negative Nancy and say, "Oh, black people can't do nothing." No, it's not to say that, but it's just to be realistic that we are up against a ton of barriers. So when it comes down to something like this, where you have a league that is over 70% black men, and you have tons of black folks who support the NFL and all of the above, and then here you have all of these white men, these old, funky, dog, white beasts who sit up here and they own all of these damn teams. And they're going to decide who, what, when, where, and how, okay? And so you have to have all these other owners and things approve of you. Do you think they would approve of P. Diddy, Colin Kaepernick, and, what's his name? The other basketball player.
What basketball
He
player?
wanted in. He plays for Golden State.
Who? Steph Curry? Kevin Durant?
Steph Curry, yeah.
Oh, Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
Okay.
Steph Curry, yeah. Because he said he wanted in.
Oh yeah, he did say he won. Let me tell you, out of all the professional sports that's out here, we have one black owner. One out of all the professional sports that's out here. I'm talking NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, NASCAR, whatever you want to call, whatever. You understand? Hockey, all that. One black owner. That's Michael Jeffrey Jordan for the NBA, the Charlotte Hornets. He's the only one. That's it.
That's the thing, man. That's the thing on Shane. That's all I can say. Because how is it that the people who are the talent, this game is built off of black people, especially for many, many decades now. So once black people got in the game, it was over. It was a wrap. And black folks took it over. We have been, in terms of the talent, not in ownership, of course. And it's just really sad when you look at it like that, like, dang, we don't own any of these teams.
None of them.
It's literally a plantation. People don't get that because they think about these people getting millions of dollars. But they're getting millions of dollars at what price, though? These men blow out their knees. They blow out parts of their body, their back, that whole, what is it called, the CCE situation where it took a black doctor to bring that out. You know what I'm saying? That they have these brain issues and all of this different stuff that's going on once they retire, whatever. And they do, their bodies get beat down. They get beat down. And instead what you have happen, you have all of these white people, these old white men and women who run around and they are able to gain wealth and resources and make it generational wealth off the backs of these black men, busting they, excuse my French, ass and breaking their backs. And these white people, the people who are in the front office, the people who hold positions with, they have licensing for the NFL, or they run this or they run that, or all of the other components and the behind the scenes stuff and all the corporate stuff. You got white people making money hand over fist. And they're not abusing their body, they're not breaking their body down, but they're getting the money off of the black men doing it. And then people want to turn around and say, oh, they get such and such millions of dollars, and they work their ass off for it. Right. They work their ass off for it. In order for you to get to the professional football player, honey, listen, that's 1 in a million, for real. Like, you got to be top of the top of the top of the top in order to do that. And then these brothers have to go on to college and different things of that nature. So these people have to be qualified to do that. So it's a long road, and you have all of these white people benefiting off of that. And it's just a sad thing, but it's just a further example. It's just a further example of what the system of racism and white supremacy has done to our people, and how they are set up and how they operate. P. Diddy ain't got a chance. He ain't got a shot in hell, excuse my French. And he know he don't. He put that out there trying to be funny. He put that out there to get people a little riled up. That man know damn well he ain't going to be able to get no NFL team. I'm sorry. He knows that. That's why he put it on some damn Instagram. And people wondering, yeah, his halftime show's gonna be dope. What? You don't get out of my face.
First things first.
Like,
Let him get the team first, which is going to be a hard job in itself.
okay. They run around talking about his halftime gonna be everything. And talking about, yeah, he gonna be having some rock. What? Listen, get on somewhere. Now, I had this clip, but yeah, I've been having so many problems. I still really couldn't get it up, so it is what it is. But basically, this brother, and I've talked about him before, and I think I have played one of his clips before on the show. And the brother's name is Antonio Moore. He is amazing. He is a lawyer, an attorney, and he does a lot of things with. He's somewhat, I guess, too, like an economist. And y'all know that a lot of y'all know that I love like facts and figures and stuff like that. And that's exactly what he does. And he's been yelling at the top of the lungs for a long time, for years, trying to wake people, black people up, specifically black people up, about what's going on and, you know, the things that happened under Obama, and then now what's on the table and what's to come. And, you know, he, you know, talks about how he gets a lot of people who like, oh, he's just being negative and we can always hope that some this, that, and the other happens. And he's like, hope. He's like me on that. Hope. Hope is literally what you have when you have nothing else. You have no other option. You have no other, nothing else. So all you got to cling on to is hope. And I don't understand when are black folk gonna wake up and understand and recognize that. So anyway, he gets a lot of pushback. I mean, he gets a lot of support for sure, but he gets a lot of pushback too from people saying that he's being negative, and you know, because he breaks down the real deal, hardcore numbers on what it looks like, and he will our economic condition looks like, and he was talking about how black folk. You know, you got a ton of black folk who got like $50 liquid. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You got like $50. Alright? We ain't got no money in no bank like that. And I know I don't. Most of us are living and working and doing the best, you know, doing what we can do. But black folk love to stunt in front of other people. Like they got this, that, and that popping. And so, you know, he was breaking down that one of the big things is the vehicle. So most black people own vehicles that are, did he say under 5 years? Something like that old. Mm-hmm. So we're always trying to be, you know what I'm saying, and the debt accrues and all of the above. So it's just a lot to it, y'all. And so I want to get into talking about this tax reform bill that was signed, like I said earlier, was signed today. And the thing about it is, while so much of our time and so many of our people have been consumed with Kanika Jenkins, have been consumed with Keaton Jones, have been consumed with whatever other gossip and nonsense and bullcrap that's going on out here, honey, these people been putting this together. They've been plotting and planning. They know what they're going to do. They know what's up. And so what's going to happen is a lot of black folk going to be blindsided when they start seeing their checks, the difference in that, and they're going to be hella blindsided when it comes to that damn tax refund check every year. And what happened is a lot of black people, of course, were using those funds to try to catch up for the year. So he was breaking down how most black people are 60 days behind in every single bill. And he said that how the numbers work out is to show that if people pay it before it gets to 90. Because when it gets to 90, that's when they start cutting your stuff off. So the majority of black people are already 60 days behind on every single bill they have. And so when people are able to get that tax check, people are like, oh, I can pay this bill up. I can get this and that. People be trying to get a car, a down payment on the car, and things of that nature. You know, and a lot of times, just like I said, trying to catch up for the year because we already behind. because we know we don't get paid as much as white people get paid. We know all of the other obstacles that we have in general with employment, being discriminated against and all of the above. So it's a tough thing, you know. So people were looking for that tax check. Okay, I'm gonna have so and so claim Tanisha, and then so and so gonna claim Marquand, you know, and you have family members, friends and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Claiming your child or claiming people's children, so more money you get back, and then when they get the money, they split it and all that kind of stuff. Right. We all listen, honey. That's the days of that are done, and I'm not playing, not one bit. The days of that are done, black people. They don't want you to get ahead. I mean, you're not gonna get ahead with no tax check anyway. That's always people believe that because you're getting, I guess, a lump sum amount of money, but you still don't get ahead with that. Anywho, so I want to break down some information about it. I want to first tell you what the Republicans, their whole plan to do, and you know, how they were setting this thing up, and then I want to get into the specific reasons and ways and how this is going to impact black people and black families. Now there is a Republican that's a representative called what's her name? Someone, Diane Black, and she's a representative out of Tennessee. And so this is basically talking about you know, tax reform is supposed to be the big Christmas present for the American people. See what, excuse my French, see what bitches they are? They know damn well that ain't no Christmas present to the American people. Not to anybody who's working class, which is the majority of people, even these white bastards. Even though they got way more, you know, wealth and resources than we do, but still, this is a Christmas present. So let me get into this, and then we're going to break down, like I said, how it affects and will impact black people specifically. Representative Diane Black is confident that the Senate will pass the Republican tax bill, which they did, and President Trump will be able to sign it into law and give the American people a big Christmas present, which he did. We're going to pass a monumental tax reform for the American people. Black, who sits on the House Budget Committee and House Ways and Means Committee, said on Outnumbered Overtime. She said that some Democratic lawmakers and some in the mainstream media are resorting to hyperbole when discussing the tax bill, and she encourages people to look at how it will provide tax relief for middle class and small businesses' lives. The American people are going to be the ones to be the judge at the end of the day, Black said. The proof is in the pudding, and the pudding will be this upcoming year when we see the economy growing and more money in people's pockets. False. She pointed out that the tax cuts under President John F. Kennedy and President Ronald Reagan provided a boost to the economy, and they were confident that this tax bill will have a similarly positive effect. Reaganomics, did that help black people?
Not at all.
Okay? And we're excited about that because the American people need our help, and the economy needs our help to come out of the doldrums that we've been in for far too long. Okay, so that's that story, but I'm going to get into how this impacts our community. But yeah, so you can see right there, you know, this is what they want. Anytime you have wealthy white people talking about how something is going to help the people, you know that's a damn lie. You know that means it's going to help them. It's going to help the people who are wealthy to stay wealthy. Okay? That's whose pockets there's going to be money. Okay, so let me get into this. 5 ways the Republican tax reform plan hits black folks the hardest. Right now, at this very moment, the single biggest threat to the group of people already in a compromised position because of their race is the Congressional Republican tax reform plan. Not the sound of the police, not lead in your water, and not a jail cell. The tax reform plan that both Congress and the White House are pushing seems obscure. It's that theme-only geeky Washington, D.C. insider has crush notes over. So you glance away from the television screen because it sounds irrelevant. It's so innocuous, you ask. What's a tax cut got to do with me? Especially when shit is already tight. So long as you get that refund check for a down payment on that next card, you could care less. See, that's what I'm saying. As the latest YouGov poll shows, you are among the vast majority of Americans who hate Congress. Yet you're probably in that 46% who don't follow what congressional lawmakers do, including the nearly 70% of whom are black. But black folks should be paying the most attention because we'll feel the most hurt as congressional Republicans, along with an oligarchic, Trump White House, will try to make the plan into law. House Republicans passed their version of the bill on Thursday. Not only is Black America the least likely to see a tax cut, but it's also the most likely to see future tax increases, shedded safety nets, and a flurry of fines and fees to make up the difference. If there ever was an issue to march against, it's the ominous specter of a trickle-down tax reform scam that's about to decimate an already fragile black quality of life, not the imprisonment of a probation-violating rapper who will end up ripping an album off your tweet. Meek Mill. Priorities, fam, priorities. As Congress attempts to ram its tax reform plan through presidential signature, which it has, because I think this was 2 days ago, so, he just signed it today. But here are the 5 big ways this will screw everyone, but black folks the most. Number 1, starving the beast so it can't protect you anymore. It's the resurgence of a decade's-old hat trick by conservative Republicans to use fiscal policy as a weapon for diabolical political aims. The quote-unquote beast is the federal government. This term of smarty elegance appeared during the Reagan years as neocons mandated less government spending through a reduced federal budget, thereby setting up the last big tax overhaul in 1986. As economist William Cunningham of Creative Investment Research stated during an episode of Reality Check, this has always been about limiting the federal government's ability to protect the most marginalized communities. The fewer resources the federal government has, the less responsive it is to the needs of the vulnerable. This is chilling for blacks considering the historic role of federal intervention on our behalf. Even, ironically, when the Fed sued Donald Trump himself back in 1973 for housing discrimination. Ain't that something? You had the federal government sue him in 1973 for housing discrimination, and now he's the president of the United States of America. Okay, let me go on. A tax code overhaul, which complements Trump's budget cuts, by the way, completes the erosion of everything from Medicare to Pell Grants to regular federal enforcement of civil, voting, and labor rights. Much of that has accelerated in less than a year under the new sheriff. Have a problem with hate crime or local plant spewing toxic fumes or racist management at your workplace or the school district underfunding your kid's school because it's a majority black and brown? Good luck with getting the feds to investigate or enforce rules because budgets will be slammed. 2, making us pay for wealthy white people's tax cuts. Straight no chaser. This tax code overhaul is a sophisticated modern plantation play. But instead of working the field, society will permit you to sharecrop your way to the appearance of middle-class normalcy through smartphones and selfie-induced materialism while the increase on your taxes pays for the boss's tax cut. Hell yeah. That's another thing. They show that black people spend more money on phones than anybody. And we be having, the newest, latest phones and all of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
As the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities points out, households with annual incomes over $1 million will see their after-tax incomes increase by 3.2%, 16 times the percentage increase for any income group in the bottom half of income distribution, black people. By 2027, those with incomes between 20,000 and 40,000 will see an actual 2% tax increase by 2023, and filers with incomes between 20,000 and 30,000 will see increases in 2027. Why does that matter to black folks? Our median income in 2016, according to the U.S. Census, was $39,490, a drop of 4% since 2000, while whites, Latinos, and Asians saw modest income gains. Okay? So ours dropped and theirs gained. The Confederacy strikes back. Red states get paid, blue states get mugged. The funny thing about the tax reform bill is that it clearly is a bloodless Confederate coup, with less populated red conservative Republican states, formerly in the Confederacy, engaging in a clever 150 years later payback by drawing up blue liberal Democratic states, formerly in the Union. Political scientists Jacob Hacker and Paul Pearson put this on blast in their recent New York Times piece, arguing it's a Republican two-step: redistribute upward, then sideways. The last time this happened, the authors note, was after the Civil War, when Northern Republicans, anti-slavery at the time, imposed punishing tariffs on Southern Democratic states to pay for Union veteran pensions. Today, Republicans, most of whom are those formerly Confederate, now red states, run the Union, which is why it pays to know the history. And the congressional Republicans in charge are proposing the elimination of popular state and local tax deductions. A $1.3 trillion cost over 10 years that hurts blue states, while the benefits get transferred to red states. Now let me skip down. Well, let me say this. It's comical because red states already get the most federal dollars since they're the poorest. In play it says President Barack Obama made sure the Affordable Care Act took care of red Republican states, even while Republicans spit in his face the whole time. Interesting. Okay, but that's just red states would rather keep their poor and black population largely disenfranchised, so new plantation owners, aka bosses, can still enjoy their spoils. And these are the states that are, as the Atlantic Alana Samuels notes, the stingiest toward their black population. Okay, number 4, demolishing the social safety net. This is very important, y'all. Black people represent about 13% of the population, yet we collectively suffer from a 22% poverty rate. Wow. Almost double the national rate. Almost double, y'all. And the highest among all racial groups. So these so-called Latinos, whatever they want to call them, I know that's not a race, but they qualified as one, I guess. And all these other folks, okay? Like black folks running around here talking about black and brown, and multiculturalism, and people of color, whatever that's supposed to be.
Color.
Okay? As a result, we rely heavily on crucial social safety net programs. Okay? Nearly 30% of African Americans rely on Medicaid and or food stamps, while 63% of black college students rely on Pell Grants. Listen up, y'all. And 30% of all Head Start children and 46% of all rental assistance recipients are black. If the tax code overhaul becomes law, which it has, the deficit spikes to $1.5 trillion or more in 10 years, and naturally forces cuts on every last one of those programs. Medicaid gets cut by 47%. Let me read that again. Medicaid gets cut by 47%.
That's great.
Food stamp cuts. Listen to this one. Food stamp cuts will be cut by 30%. Pell Grants and student loans would be devastating. through 12 schools funding would be reduced by 30%. Head Start would lose nearly 200,000 children.
That's crazy.
Okay? And who do you think they are? Who do you think the babies in Head Start are?
Well, in my neck of the woods, they all black.
Okay? Job training cuts would rise to 40%. So some of these job training programs like Pianki bullcrap, which really a lot of times don't even really employ people or whatever. Anywho, they're going to be cut by 40%, y'all. And nearly 1 million households would lose rental assistance. So Section 8, let me repeat that. And nearly 1 million households would lose rental assistance. And understand, for the other people who keep it, you're probably still going to get less. Okay, number 5. Oh, this is definitely. The price of everything else will go up. Let me repeat that. The price of everything else will go up. It won't just end with the tax cuts. Republicans will starve the beast so bad that federal agencies will hike fees on us all to squeeze blood from turnips. That could also mean a huge hit on the black middle class as the federal workforce hemorrhages. But the cost will be passed along to state and local governments, which will lose federal grants. We'll then see more public sector job losses and get another direct hit on an already fledgling black middle class that relies heavily on once secure public sector jobs. I'll get to that in a second. Being struggling black folks, because I think I talked about this some on the last episode, the last show. Being struggling black folks who rely on a vast array of state and local public services will really feel the grip tighten as those programs disappear. Not to mention the pinch from high fees on everything from parking tickets to fines to car registrations, sales to property taxes, because governments will need to make up the difference. Yep. And they can charge you however much they want. When we evaluate the tax reform plan, will mean for black households, we also have to take into account the federal budget environment. Camille Busette, director of Brookings Institution Race, Prosperity, and Inclusion Initiative, told The Root. President Trump's budget cuts call for cuts in a range of social programs, from housing subsidies to programs that help support health and other social supports that are important to low-income and poor Americans, black people, okay? A miserly budget like that, in combination with the tax reform plan, could mean the loss of some very important services. So, yeah, and then they said you might want to overwhelm Capitol Hill phone lines, folks. It's about to get rocky. Well, it's fine. It's fine. The deed is done now. Yeah. So, what are we going to do, black people? Now, first let me address this. Like, you know, people will go into this whole thing of voting and this and that. And again, I don't, you know, discourage anybody from voting. I think it's very important, specifically on a local level. But as you saw with this election, it was going to be Trump that won it, regardless. I'm sorry to tell y'all, it was going to be Trump that won. Now, you see that Hillary Clinton had the popular vote. People want to blame black people. I get sick and tired of it. Excuse my French. Black people came out and voted. And furthermore, black people came out historically and in droves to vote for Obama, who didn't do a damn thing. Under his 2 terms, black people's income dropped to where it's at the point where I was reading in the article. And so now Trump is able to just carry that on and further cut everything else down that any black folks, especially poor black as black people had access to. So this was not a thing of every black person voted for Hillary that would have saved us. No, it wouldn't. People don't understand. These are the same teams, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's simply a matter of being an overt racist or a covert racist. That's all it is, y'all.
Yep.
They own the same team. Team white supremacy. And white supremacy, as Elder Neely Fuller says, is a team sport. Okay? Everybody's on the team. So I don't want to hear no shit about black people should have voted or Hillary. And then what? And like, the crazy part about that, and we've talked about this, numerous times before, but it was under Clinton, her husband, that put all these black men and women under the prison for non-violent drug offenses when they put the drugs in your own damn community. It's black folks right now still locked down behind that. So some idea that, well, they gonna do this and that, and then they done voted in this man Doug Jones. What did he say he was gonna do for black people in Alabama? Nothing. What is he supposed to do? All these black people, the black people came out and it was the black group that won. Okay, so what's his black agenda? I'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we don't have one, because he should have never released one, and in fact, there was some stuff put out there that's what black voters were saying. And he was avoiding dealing with his black constituents and having an agenda or plan to help improve black communities in Alabama. So we get suckered in either way, family. But it's just the time now for the more overt racism. Mm-hmm. See, what we've gone through the past 8 years with Obama, that was the covert racism. Now it's time for the overt to come on right on back out. And they do it in your face, and they smile in your face. Knowing this is a Christmas gift. A Christmas gift to who? Wealthy-ass white people. That's who it is.
Yep.
So, I did a show, Psycho, remember we did a show talking about this. Do you remember that? It was last year, this year, but way earlier this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was talking about that then.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about, what's going on, what's coming under Trump with a lot of these cuts and programs. Now, here's the thing, and this is another sad part, and I love my people, but sometimes I got to get on my people out of love because we got to address some things. Now, one of the things was people say, these people on welfare and fools, and they going to have to do something. I'm like, you damn fool. This ain't isolated to what you would consider some ratchet black girl who lay up on her behind and don't know who her baby daddy is or whatever. She getting food stamps and welfare and all this stuff. First of all, that don't really happen like that no more. That's number one. But number two, this is not limited to the people who you or feel are beneath you. How many black people are working everyday black people? But there are certain programs where, like, your child can come after school before you get off work. There are other programs, that cover a variety of things, even to the degree of having, like, the rental assistance for where, you work and all of that, and you have your income, but they go more based off of your income. Well, those are government subsidized plans, people.
Yep.
So this is going to affect the everyday working class people, the people who think that you are a step above or you are several steps above these ratchet, ghetto black people. And see, that's that shit when they get to exploit this whole illusion of inclusion. Because a positive thing about segregation, segregation, it's a lot of positives, okay? But I'm just saying, in terms of what's happened here in America, okay, with 3K. A positive thing under segregation was It not like everybody was on the same team. You feel me? If you went somewhere and it said whites only color, honey, I don't give a damn if you think you make more money, you're a professional, oh, I'm a dentist or whatever. Honey, you going right over there with them poor slave croppers. I mean, sharecroppers, slave croppers. Excuse me, them poor sharecroppers. You going right in there with them. It doesn't matter that you're the status, or you have these degrees or whatever. That doesn't mean anything. You're colored, so you won't go where the colored people are supposed to go. But because of the whole integration and all of that, so many black folks fell into this idea of the illusion of inclusion. And they think that because they're working in jobs and things where they're working with other white people, and because this part of integration has been the integration of black male penis and vagina. So many people believe that because now they can sexually integrate openly with white people and non-black people, that, hey, I've made it. I'm good. No. No. So everybody who thought it was funny, saying, oh, I saw it was a lot of people who did videos, but yeah, these lazy black women with all these kids, that's what y'all get. Yeah, that's what you get. What about your parents who are on Medicaid or what is it, Medicare? What about the children who are on Medicaid because of the prices of insurance and things, and people still need assistance with that? Working people. What about that? Like, people be so damn selfish, and they think for themselves, well, if I don't get food stamps, I don't give a damn if don't nobody else get them either. And this is how we end up right back in these situations. So I love to give facts and figures. So let me just give you this. The overwhelming majority, and I've said this before, a lot of people don't know this, so I guess they don't care, I don't know. But the overwhelming majority of people who receive government assistance are working people. They're working people. They're not unemployed. They're underemployed, meaning that within their position and their family size, they still don't make enough money to be as far enough above the poverty line. So they then qualify for some other things, like maybe a small amount of food stamps in addition to, the money they make. They would then maybe be qualify for housing assistance, where basically you don't pay more than 30% of your income. Okay, so it's a lot of people who are. It's a lot of people that this is gonna affect, y'all. Like, so stop just thinking about yourself. If you feel like you good, what about your family members? What about your neighbors? What about other black folks just out here trying to make it, y'all? So, and also with these safety net programs, that means people who are like homeless and stuff, who already don't get anything, it's gonna be that much harder. So you're gonna see a whole lot more people standing on the corner with signs. And I'm not trying to be funny, I'm being real. You're going to see a whole lot more people in homeless shelters. Mm-hmm. If it's tight for you, it's tight for everybody. So I do want to give some solutions, because we have this thing, too, a lot of times in the black community, where we don't want to deal with reality, and so we just say, oh, well, what's the solution? What's your solution then? We don't really want to actually understand the problem and the gravity of the problem. Okay? And so until you understand the gravity, you're not going to be able to do anything else. But I do have some things I think, which is that black folks need to get back into the mindset of the whole family thing, which is what we come from anyway, the idea of the communal situation. So you have the grandmothers and the grandparents in the home. You have aunts and uncles who are close by, or who, you all live in a certain state. Um, things like that where people can pool their money and resources as a family to try to do better for everybody. You know, a lot of other races do that, but we don't really do that anymore. And the reason that we don't is because we have become just like our oppressors. And our oppressors, they don't do things like that. They don't have that type of communal connection with their people. They don't have that. These are beasts you're talking about. So we have to, in my opinion, we have to get back to that for that to be somewhat more of a help. Like I said, everybody kind of chipping in, so to speak, to do something bigger and better for the collective. It's going to get to that, black folks. So we got to start, y'all, I'm telling you. Go ahead, Psycho. I'm sorry. I know I went on and on, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Oh no, I was just listening to you, just agreeing with most of it. Actually, all of it. To be honest with you, especially like the whole. My opinion about loyalty, unconditional loyalty to the Democratic Party, where we just automatically think because somebody's running under the Democratic Party that they automatically have our best interests at heart, when that's not the case. A lot of these guys, like I said, most Democrats don't even break their necks to get black votes because they know we already trained. All they gotta do is just tell us to vote. They already know who we gonna vote for. They only job is just to make sure we get out and actually do vote.
Yep.
But they don't have to promise us anything. Like again, when are we gonna start making them promise us things? I keep asking. Nobody says anything. Nobody forces them to promise us nothing. Therefore, they give us nothing. Even when they're in power, they give us nothing because they don't have to. Like what Malcolm X said, they treat us like chumps because they know we chumps, and they treat us as such. And like we got to stop being chumps. And I really wish we'll wake up and either start picking our Democratic candidates a little bit more wiser, or we start voting independent for people that do have our best interests at heart and is pushing for an agenda that's going to suit us. Because this whole little zombie stuff that we walking around here doing with this Democratic Party ain't serving us no good. It's a stupid game. It's a game amongst Europeans. This whole two-party system is set up by Europeans. You got the upper class Europeans arguing with the middle class, the lower class Europeans, and they all pushing for white supremacy. They just arguing over who's gonna get the bigger pie of the white supremacy. That's all they arguing over. That's what they bickering about, and we're just pawns in their little game. That's all it is. We got to stop acting like it's something other than that. So we need to wake up and start politically. We need to wake up and start really analyzing these candidates. Just because they run a Democrat, do not think they have our best interests at heart, because that's not always the case.
Mm-hmm. Very true. 100%. I'm in agreement with you. But yeah, y'all, and I know that sometimes it's kind of like sometimes things are like really heavy. I get that. Because we go through so much as a people. So it's like sometimes it's like, oh, it's just too much, and I don't really want to hear about that, or I don't really want to deal with that. But y'all, I'm telling you, we gotta get it together, y'all. It don't look good. It just does not look good, and I refuse to pretend that it does.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to pretend that. I refuse. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna sit here and tell black people all of these beautiful roses and daisies. I'm not. No, because it's not. It's not that. And we get stuck on this hope thing. That's a real problem for me. Like, that's a real pet peeve of mine, that we get stuck on this hope. Because I've had conversations with people and debates and discussions with people, where I was bringing forth, actual information and evidence, and their whole rebuttal is built on hope. Their whole rebuttal against what white supremacy has been doing and has done and has continued to do, their whole thing is hope. Well, if black people just do this, we'll be all right. Are you crazy? Like, are you blind? Or I don't know. Like, I don't know where people's heads are at right now.
Yeah.
I just don't know. We all over the internet. We all on Instagram. Okay? We all got the newest phones and latest phones.
Yeah. Materialism has always been a huge problem in our community. People want to talk about weeds. People want to talk about hip hop music. People want to talk about this, that, and third. Everything else is all for materialism. That's what kills our community. Materialism. We are too materialistic. We are the most materialistic individuals in this nation, but yet we make the least amount of money. That's a problem.
Yep.
That's a problem. We're not even spending our money in the right places. Because just like you said, we got to have the new phones. We got to have the new this, the new that. We got to have the new sneakers that come out, the new boots that come out, the new this, the new that. Everything it got to be this name brand, or else everybody gonna laugh at you. And it got to be this, it got to be that, and everything everything's materialistic. But yet we struggling to pay our bills. It's disgusting. We gotta wake up and get out that BS. You understand that materialism is really that's a huge problem in my community that nobody addresses. Everybody want to talk about all the other little dumb shit that's going on in our community when a lot of it all stems from materialism. They won't touch the root problem, which is we need to get out that bullshit ass mindset. They rather just touch on other stuff, like on the face of it. Again, this, that, and the third. Oh, the weed, or this, like shit I just mentioned. Like it all falls back to materialism. We got to get out of that.
I mean, Psycho, have you heard? I sent it to you, so I know you've seen it. The video where the Gucci Gang video. Where is the little Mexican boy or whatever with pink hair?
Yeah, with all the colored hair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, he in there, the song is Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. The whole song that's basically it. Like, literally, the lyrics are 90% just saying Gucci. Just saying Gucci Gang. So, you have hella black folks, young black folks, teenagers and different things, because I think that boy's like 16 or something, like 17 years old, okay? And they sitting up here following behind these people thinking, I could be big like him. I can see, he papered up, I could be like that. Not understanding, honey, all of this is a setup, and it's already been revealed that he was basically a plant from like some social media company, whatever. Like, that's a lot of the stuff they doing now, is they're taking people and then putting them out there. So you have these kind of agencies and stuff who is then backing these people. So this is an agency backing this boy. So if he's sitting there Gucci, I'm pretty damn sure Gucci sent him hella stuff. Gucci can send him hella stuff. Probably don't, but they can. It's possible. Because he's doing nothing but introducing a whole nother generation of mostly black people who ain't got a pot to, okay, and running around talking about Gucci. Why the hell do you have 13, 14, 15-year-olds talking about Gucci Gang? You ain't got no damn money for no Gucci. You ain't got no damn money for Family Dollar.
I know that.
And this is the mindset. You feel me? So you have people going out here saving up, so they can go get a Gucci belt. That's the whole thing that's really popping right now too, is the Gucci belt.
And this reminds me also of when people make that bad that bad narrative when they say gangster rap destroyed the hip hop in the community and everything else. I will argue that the bling bling era did more to damage
Mm.
the community than gangster rap, because
I feel you.
the bling bling era made everything about what making it rain. You gotta have you got just it's about blowing and wasting all types of money, and not
Yep.
it wasn't talking about making money and investing or none of this other stuff and everything else. No, it was talking about blowing money. You had to buy not just you couldn't just buy the cheap vodka. No, you had to buy the expensive vodka. You had to have the Grey Gooses of the world and the Cirocs and all this everything else. You couldn't just have you couldn't just go walking around with no chain. No, you had to have the bling bling. You had to have the ice around your neck and everything else.
Mhm.
You had to have this. You had to have the big fancy cars. You couldn't just have the 6'4" and this that and the third. No, you had to have the new Lex. You had to have the you know what I mean
Okay.
the new the Nallies and everything else. You know you had to have big shit. You know the Hummers and everything. You know you had to have the
Huh.
big shit. That's what the bling
Mhm.
bling era did. The bling
Suburban.
bling. Yep, the bling bling era made it all about money, and everybody fed into it. And it wasn't just the guys, the females too. You had to be.
Mhm.
What about the scrub songs and everything else? I don't want
Mhm.
to talk to nobody if you're a scrub. You gotta have this, you gotta have that, and everything else. It's that everything became about money, 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 and
Yep.
it was about spending money. It wasn't about getting money and saving money, investing money, putting in saving
Mhm.
accounts, trying to do this, that, and the third. No, it was about blowing and wasting all types of money. That's what and I can argue that the bling bling era did way more to damage our community than the gangster rap era. Because most of the gangster rap stuff, most of the people didn't even take that stuff serious and were just listening to it just for music. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Lawyers and doctors that's walking around right now that grew up off gangster rap music, that never
Mhm.
shot or
Mhm.
killed anybody a day in their life.
Mhm.
But the bling bling era motherfuckers, they minds are fucked up. They think
Yep.
they walking around still to this day thinking it's about how much they have, how much they got. They got to get this. They got like we just talked about the new phones to do this and that.
Sure.
That's that mindset. It did a whole lot to push and promote that mindset.
Look, people sitting up here getting the newest, latest phones, honey. Phone be cut off the next week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You trying to piece the money together to get it back on.
Right.
But you got the iPhone X though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I mean, and let me ask you this before we go into Dr. Umar. Can you tell me who owns Gucci, Lexus,
Sure.
Prada, um, whatever other lines that are off this, Louis Vuitton for sure.
Most of the
Can you
names
tell
you,
me?
most of the people you're naming are Italians. Most of them,
Mm,
but they definitely
oh,
non-black.
oh, okay. So you mean this money is not going in the black community?
Nope, not at all.
Oh man, Versace? That ain't going to black people?
Nope. Matter of fact, wasn't it Versace that Jay Z went into his office and asked he promote his clothing line, whatever, and he said, and he pretty much dismissed them. Like these
Um,
people do not
I
even
don't
want
know
us
what
to
Wally
wear that
was.
stuff. I remember when
Yep.
Timberland. I remember when the owner and founder of Timberland was asked about what does he feel about his boots pretty much being taken off
Uh huh.
in the black community, and pretty much everybody buying it and being real popular in the black community. He
Right.
said I didn't even he said I don't know, I didn't make my boots for them and this, that, and the
Mhm.
third, and blah, blah, blah. He all but said he didn't want us really wearing their boots because they started
Right.
having it bad. He started having like bad distinctions attached to his boots because like it got attached to like criminal activity and all types of other
Mhm.
stuff and everything else. So he kind of like didn't really like the fact that we was all wearing Timbs and everything else up here in the Northeast and this, that, and third. He almost preferred we chose some different brand so so his brand wouldn't get that tarnish on it.
Yep.
Even though we
And
put a
same
whole
thing
lot of
with.
money in his fucking pocket.
Yep. That man sitting up, honey, generations gonna be out eating off that black people spending their money on them damn Timberlands, okay? Which they hella cute, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be so many generations of white people to come who are gonna be his descendants who gonna eat off that good Timberland money out of cold black folks' pockets.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't see it like that. Because even when I was talking to like some younger kids or younger like teenagers about it, and they're like, well, I mean, what's the problem? Like, what's the big deal? Like about the whole Gucci thing and all of that stuff. And they don't understand that you are funding these racist white people who don't give a damn about you and are not going to put anything back into your community.
Right.
Well, why are you continuing to make them and their descendants for 18,000 years to come wealthy? You willing to make an entire, well, that boy, but a lot of them do this, and they have little rap songs and stuff they do. You willing to make rap music based upon the promotion of some white designer who can't stand your black ass. You will sit up and make a song about these people, about this clothing line or whatever, and you ain't gonna give not one red cent.
Right.
You making them more and more wealthy, more and more powerful. So that's another thing with this tax reform, honey. Y'all better get on up in that Walmart or whatever. You running around trying to get a Gucci belt, you better be up in Walmart, okay? And we know, that's run and owned by white people, but I'm just saying. You're trying to get something for a $200 or $300 belt, you better go to Walmart and get you a belt for $8.99.
Right. Well, that's right.
And I like to look nice. I like to look cute. I like to wear different stuff, but you have to.
You're paying for a name.
You gotta put everything in perspective. Yeah.
You're paying for a name. That's all you're paying for.
Yep. Remember Tommy Hilfiger? That whole thing about him. He didn't want black people wearing his clothes.
He's another one. That didn't want black people wearing his stuff.
And Oprah, it's a clip, y'all, on YouTube about it, where Oprah was talking to him about it. Honey, I ain't never seen nobody tap dance like that in my life. He tap danced all the way around that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because he said it.
Yep.
And you had everybody. You had Aaliyah, back in the day, Aaliyah. I remember Aaliyah used to wear hella Tommy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I think she was maybe like a model, Tommy.
She was
campaigns.
Yeah, she was endorsing this product for a while, especially like the because he was kind of like the first person that kind of like put his brand on the waistband of the boxes. Because he was taking advantage of people sagging their pants and everything else. So he put his name brand on the band of the boxes so everybody could see the heel figure when they sag, and that this, that, and third. So he was like the first to do that. But he did that to target the black audience though, because we was the only ones sagging. So he did that for a reason. And Aaliyah she used to endorse him and make commercials and everything else.
Okay, well, we can move on, y'all, but yeah, so it's getting real in the field, family. So we got to do what we can. Like I said, and then the college, the Pell Grants, that's major. That's major. Because then what? There's not trade programs in black schools anymore. You have more and more black children who are going to college, but what happens when that Pell Grant money dries up? You have already poor black people, working class black people, they already can't afford to send their children to school. That's why they're trying to get grants. And then the more loans you get, you never pay them off. So you end up a college graduate with degrees in debt. So, yeah, I'm just saying we got to team up, y'all. We got to kind of come back to the center. Okay. Oh, let me say this to the family. If you want to get in on the conversation, you have something to contribute. I know we've been going in. It's just a lot of stuff to cover. But if you want to contribute to the conversation, I think I seen Becky a minute ago. I stepped away from the screen, but I will get to you in just few minutes. But yeah, family, if you want to contribute to the conversation, you have to call in to do so. The calling number is 319-527-6058. 319-527-6058 and press 1. We got about 26 minutes left in the live stream, so that means 26 minutes to call in. If you don't call in within that time, you couldn't get on the line. You can't get on the line if we go into overtime or whatever overtime we do. However, you can always listen to the show on YouTube at youtube.com/psychopathiest, SYKOPATHEIST. So check that out if you want to chat or what have you. And I haven't really been over there, but I'm going to come check it out in a moment. But, go ahead, Psycho, you want to say anything?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay. All right, so we're going to get into this Dr. Umar thing, and basically, okay, well, here's the thing. Now, I just recently saw this, on social media. Nikki did. Shout out to Nikki Justice. She did a show on this, I think, last night. And yeah, I wish I could have been on the panel, but I was not out. So you hear me? Okay, anywho. But Nikki, and I listened back to it, quite a bit of it. But she did a show on it last night, and some other people been going around. Haven Bullet has been doing some things on it. He's gotten some other information, so he's going to keep me posted on some things. So I think maybe like Tuesday we'll know more, or whatever, but he has some connections and things. So I'm going to get into this Dr. Umar situation. Now, most people are familiar with Dr. Umar Johnson, and, he is somebody I really like, personally. He's somebody that I really support. He's somebody who comes hard with the information. I love that. I love that. I love somebody who comes hard with it, who's not going to try to miss words, who's not going to try to tap dance, make it all flowery and pretty. He's just going to get to it and tell you what you need to know and tell you what's going on. And so, anywho, he's had some issues in the past about whether he's legitimately a doctor or not, has a degree or several degrees. And he's also, been kind of put out there for a situation that people call the conscious stripper.
Yeah.
The quote-unquote conscious stripper. Okay. I did have the pleasure of interviewing Dr. Umar before. Of interviewing Dr. Umar before. And like I said, I appreciate him. I like him. I think he says a lot of great things, and he's on point now. So it's a lot of people who do not like this man. They can't stand him. They say he's a liar. They say he ain't got no degrees, that he ain't no damn real doctor. He's just a scammer trying to get people money. That's a big thing as well, because I guess when the so-called conscious stripper thing happened, that was like a further excuse for people who already didn't want to support him to say they weren't supporting him. So they tried to use some type of moral reason to not support him, when in actuality, it's just that when people come hard like that, a lot of people can't deal with it. Especially with some of the things that he hits on, because he hits heavy on interracial relationships, and he hits very heavy on homosexuality. But that rubs a lot of people the wrong way anyway. So people kind of took that and ran with it, like, oh, he's collecting his money, he ain't done nothing yet, oh, he's dealing with this woman, and this, that, and the other, and oh, I can't trust him, blah, 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 blah. Now, this, I'm going to read to you what he posted. Yeah, so let me let y'all know. This is what he posted on Twitter. I think just the other day, and I think it was on Thursday actually. And this is what he said. Well, he's basically in danger of losing his credentials. He said, "I've been ordered to stand trial in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, on January 8th, 2018, before the Board of Psychology to be stripped of my school psychology credentials as a result of constant complaints from members of my race pleading to the white man via phone and mail to bring an end to my professional career. You ridiculous ingrates have achieved your goal." And then his comment, what he posted, said, "Sometimes I ask myself, why did I start this campaign? I'm ready to return all the donations and move to Africa in an effort to give our boys the school they deserve. I've had countless coons consistently harass white people in the power structure until ... So I guess, until I guess he's stripped or what have you. But yeah, he has Dr. Umar's last stand, the farewell tour, where he's going to be in Chicago this Tuesday at Harold Washington Cultural Center. If you're there, you might want to check him out. Yeah, you can find other information online, I'm sure. I think it starts at 6. So yeah, y'all. So from what I understand as well, his accounts and things have been frozen.
Wow.
I think people were saying as well, yeah. So I'll let you go, Psycho. What's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts on this?
And you say his accounts was frozen as well?
Yeah. I'm gonna try to see if I can, cause y'all, I don't want to say something that's not true, but that's what I've heard thus far. So that may or may not be true, but yeah,
Wow.
I'm gonna try to see if I can.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find out more on this story. I pretty much know what you just read. I seen what was it, a Facebook post or was that Instagram, whatever it was. I seen a little bit of that
Twitter.
post. Oh, okay, it was Twitter. All right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You're gonna have people out here that's gonna be on your neck if you out here, speaking against what they deem to be some type of whatever matrix they living in. The problem with a lot of anti-blacks and coons is that they live inside the matrix and they really don't want to be woken up. And when people start coming around them with red pills and everything else, they kind of lash out. They kind of like living inside their little bubble. And
Wait, Psycho, let me call this real quick. I'm sorry, because I just got back to my screen. I see y'all on the phone lines. I'm open up everybody at one time in just a moment.
Okay.
So I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to
Go
be
ahead,
quick.
Psycho.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be quick so we get to the phone line.
Okay.
Yeah, but you always gonna have these people out here that are they're gonna make it they business to make sure that you don't succeed in black people moving forward. Now, he had a lot of issues. I know with the whole stripper thing that happened, and it was taking a while for the school, and I don't think he had the location yet, and everything else, and people was wondering, and people started coming after him, and some of the investors that invested money into it was starting to gripe a little bit and everything. He also got to understand it's a lot of people being scorned within the conscious community, and whether he called himself a part of the conscious community or not is irrelevant. He's attached to it. Whether fair or not, he's attached to it. You understand? So and there's a lot of people out here that view the conscious community people as nothing but scammers and people hustlers trying to rip people off. So he's going to fall under that category. Whether it's fair or not, he's going to fall under that category. So people going to be on him to see results, and they wasn't seeing results in significant amount of time for them. So they started coming after him. And I'm a little bit confused on how they was able to get this everything going with the was it what board was it? I know they was trying to see if they could take his
Um,
psychology degree or
the
whatever. So
Commonwealth, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of State,
okay,
before the State Board of Psychology.
yeah. Now see that I'm a little bit like see so this right here is somebody that's this is I don't even think this is an investor that's upset. This right here is somebody that's got issues with him. This sounds personal because they took it to the board, tried to get his degree, trying to get degrees messed with and everything else, put freezes on stuff and
And
get his degrees taken. That right there is that's personal. I don't know what's going on, who did what. I would like to find out a little bit more information before I give my full opinion on it. But
mhm,
I'm not too surprised that this happened given the whole situation and everything. I'm not too surprised because I know how people can be. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get to the phone lines though.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bring y'all in. I'll give my analysis when y'all done. Man. Okay. Again, family, if you would like to contribute, you got about 15 minutes to call in to speak. Again, the calling number is 319-527-6058. 319-527-6058 and press 1. Okay, I'm going to open the calls. Brother E, you'll be first. And then I'm going to go to Brother E, and then I'm going to go to 281 and 678. So if you guys could mute your lines. If you guys can mute your lines,
Hello,
and then I'll just call on you. Okay, Brother E, peace, how you doing?
Hello, Renee.
Hey.
Hello, Psycho.
Peace. What's going on?
Before I discuss anything, so you did the YouTube show a few nights ago, Renee. I couldn't find this on Psycho's page.
No, it wasn't on Psycho. It's on Sister Truthfully Honest channel.
Okay, well, I gotta find that on YouTube. I would say something about the Omar thing, but I'm not sure if y'all guys gonna like my views on this. Cause
I don't know. Go ahead. Go ahead. Give your honest.
You know, I've been following and watching this man for the past, I would say, 6 years, maybe 7, and seeing his development grow even to this stage, and to find that he wrote that, right? I always questioned direction of where he was taking a lot of things, because all other organizations, they at least let you know what is established, who's this birth. But even when he was going into the initiative of buying St. John back in summertime of 2014, I remember I was there when he did the video on that. And now we're looking on 3 years, over 3 years now. And a lot of black women specifically ask questions, which is no problem. And regardless, you doing crowdfunding, even the staff. A lot of things he's doing right now, even that led to this point, was very much in the dark. And our people have the right to ask these questions. Even though some that are aware of the scamming that's going on in the so-called conscious community, but scamming goes on every circuit, not just conscious. Can we agree?
Agree.
Okay. So now it comes to this point where now he's might lose his license, not his degree, because I talked to somebody and he told me said that you'll probably lose your license, not the degree, which is all right, because really you can't really take back somebody's degree. And if the beast can really take back degrees, let's say for sake of conversation, he could take away a doctorate degree. And really, actually, most of our people should not waste their time pursuing these type of degrees if that was the case. Because how the fuck I get it from you and you're gonna take it back? And that means it was not even worth the time and energy to get it in the first place. It'll take it back a lot of people's degrees with a whole bunch of debt that people just accumulate getting these stupid degrees. But moving on. So, and even his behavior, most of them don't know, say, this is not characteristic of a person that's trying to put himself out there as a leader. So, you know, I feel at the end of the day, the brother did put himself in this serious position besides these little so-called people trying to go to the board, get his thing removed and all stuff. And mind you, if they do decide to remove his license, let's say they do it, right? Dr. No, Omar should know that there's many other options he could do to continue this so-called fight. He should not really depend too much on certain credentials, because there are some people out here that don't got these degrees and they're doing pretty well and fine and probably going much further if you have a goal and vision. You shouldn't say you're just going to hang it up for a while and say, you know, I'm just going to give it for a while and then do what I go somewhere else and all that. Because it lets me know as a man, and I'm just me in general, that you were never serious in the fight in the first place. Because with this type of fight, a lot of things will happen. You potentially might lose your life, or you can lose your livelihood and what you're trying to attain financially. Look at Dr. Ben. Look at all these people that did this thing. Either they gained wealth or not, or broke. They still did because they have one mission, one goal, and that is to liberate the minds of our people by any means necessary. They're not like the old time leaders back then when, you know, they could have risked to lose all from what but why they still continue? Because they had a mission and goal. As long as you stay in your mission and goal and your A game, anything else that's put in front of you to divert you from your goal is irrelevant, because you have an aim and a mission. Now, if you fulfill this mission in your lifetime, who knows? But if you stay on the path and say this is what you want and this is what you want to accomplish, and it's not for you but for the betterment of our race, then obviously you're going to have to take the bruises with the bump that comes with it. Because remember, our people are sick. And there's no way how you're going to get through people that's going to fight against your opposition. You have to keep going further.
Right.
When you just sit there and say you're going to hang it up for any reason, or say that, you know, you shouldn't start the fundraising, then it was a waste of time you even start the fight from the beginning. And you feel the war was going to be ended before it began. So, you know, I was kind of disappointed. I didn't want to talk too much about it because I want to sit back and see how this develops. And he's going to probably do a YouTube video very soon on this, Dr. Omar. We expect that. So that's my take right now.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Brother Key. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, so we got Sister Nikki on the line now, too. Peace, sis.
Hey, Sister Renee. What's up? What's up? Peace, brother Psychopathist. Make sure y'all take 1 second and hit that like button, subscribe, share. Right now, I'm checking y'all Facebook page, especially you, Brother E. I'm on your Facebook page. I don't see you share this.
Everybody, well, let me get the people. Hold on, let me get the these two callers, and then in 269, I'm opening your mic. Make sure you mute your phone, and I'm gonna call you in just a second. So we're gonna get 281, then we're gonna get 678. We're gonna get Nikki, and we're gonna get 269. Okay, 281, please. What's your name and where you calling from? I think they're H-Town, but I'm not quite sure. Peace.
Yes, it is. H-Town's in the house.
Oh, hey.
H-Town. Peace.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Well, my name is Doc Hawkins, and you know, I was listening to the show, and I think you brought up many key points, and one of them I'd like to highlight right now. When you mentioned what you did about the Pell Grants, and the fact that the black community, you know, we're losing different types of trade skills or whatnot. You know, I remember growing up, we had shop classes in 5th, 6th, 7th grade, where we learned actual wood building skills. We learned how to use saws. And to this day, I still remember all that. I can use any type of wood saw and a lot of different metal saws, routers, all that good stuff. And for me, they systematically took those types of classes out so that we would lose the edge that we historically had here in this country as we built it. Now, the thing that really freaks me out the most is the fact that when you look around, or just try Google, black-owned water purification companies, and you're going to see that there's only one black-owned water purification company in the whole country, and it is mine. And you figure out who I am when you do some Googling, and that is very, very scary. Because what happens if they decide to poison us in any city, like they did us in Flint, Michigan? You see what I'm saying? Where were the black-owned water purification companies in? That's what we needed, not cats making Walmart richer or Nestle richer by buying truckloads after truckloads of bottled water. And now that those plastic bottles are polluting the city. So the United Nations, for example, says that by the year 2030, almost half of the world's drinking water will be gone. Now, just think about that for a second. How in the hell will 40% of the world's fresh water disappear into thin air when we all know that we only have access to less than 3% of the world's fresh water for drinking? So you mean to tell me half of all drinking water is going to disappear? So what are they really saying to us? What they're saying is that the poor people, the middle class, etc., won't have access to drinking water at all. This is a way of killing us all. And no one's talking about that. And you would think that we would say, hey, you know what, we need to start taking over water bottling plants. Everybody's on this alkaline water kick and all that. Hey, and that's cool. I'm glad to see that. But guess what? When you spend $6,000 on a Kagan system or Ignatic system, right, and you get those systems in, who are we making rich? Those systems don't even use medical-grade electrodes. All right, they use electrodes that are titanium-based. They are about 99.5% titanium, and they literally spray paint a thin layer of platinum over that titanium. And this is what gives you your alkaline water, just to put it in layman's terms and to cut it short. You see what I'm saying? We build industrial water purifiers, commercial water purifiers, that can treat up to 10 million gallons of water a day. My smallest system can treat 15,000 gallons of water a day, and it's cheaper than the Kagan system. But most of us don't know about these kind of systems. So my point is this. You have these white folk going to Africa and say, oh, well, hey, listen, we're going to put together this big religious congregation, and we're going to go to Ethiopia or wherever the case may be, and we're going to dig a couple of wells for you black folks to see over there. And we're just helping you out. We're not here to steal the resources, but we're going to dig a well so you can have some clean drinking water. But then they blunt and take pictures of the drinking water, and the folks all happy and all this stuff. But what they don't tell you is that when the United Nations says, well, 40% of the drinking water is going to be gone in 12 years, is that they are there stealing the water too. So what's going to happen then, if we don't have a leg to stand on, no means to manufacture any type of water filters that can remove the lead, both types of lead, the fluoride, the radioactive tritium, and now the government just admitted a couple of months ago that we have a cancer-causing agent in our water called 1,4-dioxane. The number 1, the number 4, dioxane. Right? D as in David, I-O-X, A, N as in Nancy, E as in elephant. 1,4-dioxane, which will literally give you cancer overnight. It's in the water, and now the government says, oh, well, hey, I don't know how it got there in the black community. Just like we don't know how 80% of the pipes in Chicago leading to black homes delivering water is made of lead. That stuff came out about 5 days ago. 80% of the pipes in Chicago are made of lead. And they didn't tell nobody nothing till a couple of days ago. Where the hell are our water treatment specialists at? We better start thinking about that.
Oh my gosh, brother, I need to get in touch with you. I would love for you to come on and do a show breaking all of this down. Do you have an email?
Thank you. It would be a pleasure.
Well, you know, before he continues, I know Dr. Will Hawkins for quite some time now, and I'm glad you called in. We talked a few weeks ago, Will. We're friends on Facebook, Will. So it's kind of good you called in tonight to bring up this very
90 seconds.
Oh, hey, you
So I
guys.
advise Renee get his information. Get his information. He has this.
That's what I'm trying to do.
He deals with the science.
Okay.
Especially
Well, I'm trying to get his information right now.
Your question?
Let me say this real quick, brother.
My information.
Hold on, let me say this real quick. Stanley, you got about 1 minute to call in if you want to contribute to the conversation tonight. The calling number is 319-527-6058, 319-527-6058, and press 1. Okay, and you can always go and listen to the rest of the show, the overtime, at youtube.com/psychopathiest, SYKOPATHEIST, and you can still chat, or if you have questions, comments, what have you in there. Okay, go right ahead, brother.
Well, I was just saying that, I'll give you my information, and thank you for the opportunity. This is a very touchy subject for me, but I just wanted to highlight the point that you made earlier about, trade skills and the Pell grants and their connection and all that.
10 seconds.
Together.
Right. All right. You want to go ahead with your email, or I don't know if you want to give it out on the air. It's up to you. I can give you mine, or
Sure.
however you want to do it.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. My email is Revolutionary Renee, and Renee spelled RENEE. So Revolutionary Renee at AOL.com.
Gotcha.
So anybody who want to email me, that's my email. If you want to contact me. Okay. So everybody's line is open, but y'all please just mute your phone till I come back around to you. I want to make sure I get everybody who's on the line first. Okay, thank you. Okay, now let me go to 678. Peace. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good evening. This is
Excuse me?
Dan calling from New York. What's up, Renee?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. How's everyone doing?
Peace,
Good.
peace, Black Power.
All right, you got the
Power
floor.
indeed. Yo, I just wanted to touch on the subject of Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm in contact with Dr. Umar Johnson. We've chopped it up a few times. Had the pleasure of meeting him a few times, and I've donated to the FDMG Academy school that he was trying to build. Now, I don't know what information you guys currently have on the FDMG Academy, but as far as I know, he has told me that he has put the funds that everybody donated into a annuity. Now, I can't remember what type of annuity it was, but I do know he has the funds in an annuity. So it's sitting there and it's growing as we speak. Now, as far as the school itself goes, he's actually currently touring a few different states. He's going to Georgia, he's going to Texas, and there was another place up north. I can't remember. I think it was Jersey, somewhere up north. But it's a few states that he was touring in order to figure out where he wanted to actually buy property to build the FDMG Academy. So, and he's also hiring teachers as we speak. and he's looking for people that are able to teach trades. So going back to what the brother was just saying, and I completely agree, and something that me and Dr. Umar talked about the last time we saw each other here in New York was trade schools. You know, the disappearance of teaching trades in the black community and whatnot, because trades are what pays the bills at the end of the day. You know, it used to be a time where you could live good in America as a black man and just work a trade, you know, whether you was a carpenter, electrician, plumber, or whatever,
Right.
and be able to provide for your family. So they took that away, and now they brought in the drugs. We know what that did. They brought in feminism. We know what that did, right? So the black man is looked down on by everybody, including some of his own women. You feel me? So now black men in general, it's going to come down to us. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's looking at us, including our own women. If we don't step up, you know what I'm saying, and invest in the right things and build in the right things, you know, and walk the walk and don't just talk the talk, it's over. It's a wrap. You got to be able to get up and do something. I don't care if it's pick up a gun. And you can say it sounds crazy, but if you willing to do that much, then you're a real man in my eyes. You feel me? So if you want to pick up a shovel, you want to pick up a ruler, do something. You know what I'm saying? But the FDMG Academy, you know, they already got the flyers going out for the first official meeting to congratulate people who donated and stuff like that. I need to give you guys the information if you're interested. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I can send that guy the number and stuff to you guys later.
Okay, cool. Did you hear my email?
I did not hear it correctly.
Oh.
You can say it one more time?
Okay. Revolutionary Renee at AOL.com.
Okay.
And Renee spelled RENEE.
All right, I got you.
Cool. Okay. Well, I thank you, brother. Your mic is open. So, you know, we're going to open it. I mean, it'll be kind of free for all in a minute, but I'm going to get these other two callers, and then we can move on from there. Let me get my sister, Nikki. What's going on, sis? And I definitely want to hear your thoughts on Dr. Umar. Nikki, you there? Oh, don't tell me she dropped. Yup. She sure did. Nikki, call me if you want to, speak. Call me and I'll bring you in on three-way. Okay, so let me go on then to 269 Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from? 269?
Peace. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What up? What up? I found your number. I was like, Yeah, I had to be sure, though.
Yeah, it's Matt too from Michigan.
You said who?
How you been doing?
Been good. Wait a minute, wait. Who is this?
Good.
Who?
Yeah, this is Matt too from Michigan. I probably haven't talked
Oh,
to you in a year.
that's right. We did.
Yeah.
You know what? I thought you were somebody else.
Chop it up a little bit.
Yeah, but we did. So, okay, I do know you. Okay.
I was one of your boyfriends.
Oh, what? Are you putting all that out there?
Sound like you're put on the little sexy boys too there.
What?
Nobody else heard that.
Okay. You trying to start stuff.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about the, and I heard some good comments on the Umar issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've been a little bit critical of the brother. Really, and I think we should be. I have not donated to his particular cause for African-centered education. However, I have and do support African-centered education with my resources. So I want to put that out there. So I ain't just running my damn mouth. But a couple of things. The infrastructure to developing a business. In the conscious community, we tend to go do this fly by night shit, where we don't have the correct team in place to pull off ventures. So, for instance, with the brother, I could just ask him a series of questions. One, is it a for-profit school or non-profit? Anybody who's donated, which one is it?
That's a good question. I really cannot, because he answered that.
Interesting question, sir. Thank you. See, there's a question before you continue. These are questions we never asked.
The second question,
Let us finish for the end.
Is the donation tax deductible? Or
Yes.
Am I getting a percentage on the return?
No.
Is there a business plan in place?
No, there's no business plan in place. Allow women asking that. And
Brother E, can you allow that man to finish, please? Thank you.
Yeah. What's the operating cost? What's the cost analysis? So the infrastructure, when the brother first got started, he needed an accounting team, a Pan-Africanist accounting team to account for the money. He needed a lawyer. You understand? Mm-hmm. What the brother is he is a good spokesperson. A good spokesperson does not necessarily translate into a good business person. Those are two separate things. He would be an excellent mouthpiece for the furtherance of African-centered education. But if you're talking about building African-centered schools, then you would need to have some type of advisory group of individuals who have did what? Built African-centered schools. Mm-hmm. He's not built one, right? And so, and you see this throughout the conscious community. Brothers and sisters asking for donations for sole proprietorships, for-profit business that they run. What kind of shit is that? Right? If you have a for-profit business and you're asking black folk for donations, you should have an investment vehicle so that black folk can invest in that for-profit business and make money like you.
But see,
if you are a non-profit, okay, Renee.
Can I say something?
We're gonna have to tighten up. We got to tighten up, y'all.
Can I respond to that, Renee?
Yeah. Let me say something real quick, and then I think Brother E want to say something. You can go. Go ahead. Were you done? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but I am going to be done now because I see some people want to comment. It's just the art of communication. I'm not being critical of just him. I'm being critical of the process as we're talking about liberation. If we're talking about liberation, we're talking about building institutions, we're talking about building them to last, and we're talking about building them based off of structure. If we're not, then we're bullshitting, right? Okay, so I'll leave it there.
Okay. I was just throwing there real quick. Well, Brother E, you go ahead with whatever you were trying to say, and then other brother 678, go ahead after him, and then I want to give my little analysis on.
Well, you see, like the brother asked, and you see, this was the ongoing trouble, brother. The past, I would say, 2.5 years, going on 3, where a lot of people, especially women, start asking questions, and this is where the kickback starts. You know, and people are critical to ask these questions. I wanted never to ask the questions because usually when people say they're trying to establish something and they open a donation, I just normally say, like any person, to give my money. I don't really ask these really deep questions. But as time progresses and certain people start getting critical and ask certain questions, especially if you're trying to accumulate millions of dollars to, let's say, purchase, let's say, a St. Joseph College, which he already told most of the people when he started initiating how much this costs to get this land and building. And when people are asking, how much was being put in, or, the little things, he keeps some details, not much, but usually after, like, he'll let people know what the status, maybe months from now. But when people start asking, like, the question you ask, especially those two questions, which, is a very important question to ask. I don't think no one really asked that until tonight. That, people are skeptical of where the money is going and how this is going to structure, how you going, where's the staff, how this is going to work out, but how this is going to sustain itself for the first year or two. I mean, as the process continues, these questions start to come about while people are donating money at that time. I think at the end of the day, most of the people, if they're giving their money to any person, either, conscious or unconscious, these questions should always be asked on the table of the first hand, just to squash all argument. And not only that, but also a heads up of what the status, and how far to achieve the goal. But that's all.
All right, Brother Nate, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so a couple of things. First of all, I agree with the brother, and I like that he's asking questions. I think that's something that we should do with anything that we do, whether it's conscious or unconscious. But one thing I notice is critique, and I'm not saying this brother is doing that, but they critique and they talk all this nonsense about Umar Johnson and, even going back to the conscious stripper issue. You know what I'm saying? What is the brother doing wrong?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All of these people, how many of these people that are complain when their pastor's sleeping with all the women in the church? You know what I'm saying? You want to give them a pass, but let me bring it back to the finances, though. How many people are actually on fdmgacademy.com seeing the plan? The plan is laid out right there. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to critique the plan that is laid out right there. And this is not directly, I'm not directing this at, that brother that just made his comment, but I just want to put that out there so everybody understands. Also, I just said that FDMG Academy, they're already making moves and they're hiring people as we speak. One of the type of people that they're hiring is what this brother just mentioned, accountants. How many accountants, pro-black accountants, red, black, and green wearing accountants want to sign up? I don't see too many people signing up that's down for this revolution, but everybody wants to critique. I don't see too many people donating, but everybody wants to critique. And let me tell you something about me. I donated $1,000 at least to this cause. Now, if he's not real in what he's saying, trust me, I'm going to see about this man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to see about this man. Trust me. Because I don't play about money, especially when it comes to pro-blackness, consciousness, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? So, please, everybody just, understand that this is a process. You know what I'm saying? When the Black Panthers first started, hell, we could go back even further. When the UNIA first started, that, Marcus Garvey started, he had to start from the grassroots up. You think he just had a random set of accountants for him to handle his stuff? You think he just had a random set of soldiers that was automatically down? No. He had to deal with the coons. He had to deal with the critiquing, right? We all know who was critiquing him back in the day, right? So let's just remember history, and let's just remember it's a process. Ants got to rebuild the colony, got to rebuild the anthill. You feel me? I'm going to let somebody else speak.
Yeah,
Okay.
I understand both sides of the whole stripper argument. I don't see a big deal about the stripper thing as far as like on a moral aspect. Like a lot of these people that's complaining about him being with a stripper will have probably got Martin Luther King hanging up on their wall when he was notoriously messing around with a whole lot of women. So it's kind of like hypocritical for a lot of people to hold that stance. But on the other side of the spectrum, it's just not a good look when you're asking people for money and you're caught in the club making it rain. When you're asking people for money, that's the part that I think a lot of people was saying about.
Well, he didn't meet her in the club.
Oh, he didn't meet her in the club. Okay, all right.
No. He met her. She came to one of his what do you call it? One of his lectures,
Mm-hmm.
and he, he
Yeah.
was good.
Well, I mean, well, if that's
He
the
was-
case, well, yeah, if that's the
he
case,
was
that's
feeling
different.
it,
Yeah, that's
and
different
she
then.
was feeling him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
As
yeah.
long as he wasn't making it rain with GoFundMe money, then yeah, I mean it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah. But you know what, like I understand how you could think that because people made it seem like that.
Mm-hmm.
People made that into such a huge thing. Oh, she was a stripper. But he didn't meet her in no damn strip club.
Yeah.
Like, and she came out and gave out all the business. And she didn't ever say nothing about he was in no strip club or nothing. She said she met him at his lecture. They had a picture they took together, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And, or what have you. He wasn't in no damn strip club, you know what I'm saying? But people was blowing it up so big. You thought he was in there, throwing dollars. So, no.
Yeah.
Making it rain.
Yeah.
Like you said, making it rain with FDMG money.
Yeah. Yeah, now that would have been a problem. That's what I'm saying. Like, now that would have been a problem. But
I don't know about that.
yeah.
Yeah, I would have felt everybody on that, if that was the case. But my thing with Umar is, like I said before, I like Umar a lot. I support him, and I'm rooting for him because ultimately, I think he has something good for the community if he can. He's a strong black man who seems to uphold, like, as far as he's against the LGBT stuff and all of that kind of stuff. And he keeps it 100 on a lot of things. The problem is, and I understand where you're coming from, Mr. Michigan. I understand where you're coming from, but I agree. You know what I mean? I'm torn because I agree with you. We should be concerned for wherever our money is going. We should be knowing, like, hey, what's this all about? Because black people have gotten screwed over a lot of times and are continuing to be screwed over. But at the same time, it's like, dang, it's so hard. It's so hard to be out here fighting for black liberation. Man, because you got everybody coming at you. And so now they got this BIE, the Black Identity Extremist, which, he's been on the list, whatever list they've had. He's been on there for umpteen years now. Okay? But you have where they're even more so cracking down on this under Trump's regime. And so a lot of the stuff that I think we see as being, Umar was messing up, I think a lot of times that stuff is orchestrated by these types of people and groups and things. And so we just got to be mindful of that, because sometimes we go too hard on our people. Sometimes we don't go hard enough, and sometimes we go too hard. And it really discourages people. It really discourages people from wanting to be in the fight for liberation and be vocal about it and be out there and be seen and in that manner. It really discourages people because they're like, look at the hell that y'all put this man through. And I ain't trying to be funny, But it ain't like it's no millions of dollars. Like, and I'm not saying that makes it right if somebody took the money or misused it or misappropriated it or whatever. However, my thing was this. He hadn't had a school yet. So what he laid out that I understand, that I've heard, like I said, I did interview him before, and he was talking about that he wanted to build institutions for the black community. Because he talked about that a lot of people say, oh, you could just start it in your house, or you could do this and that. And he said that's not how he wanted to come with it. He wanted to come with something that was an institution, and he felt like for black folks, we just got to go for it. We just got to do it. Because when we say all of that stuff, like, oh, we starting in our house and stuff, sometimes we get stuck there. So that's what his whole, that's how he broke it down to me.
Well,
Go ahead.
Can I add to what you said, Renee? Yeah, because I want to make sure that we're clear on the point that I'm trying to make. I'm gonna give you an example. The issue that arose between young Pharaoh and Sarnetta, and I'm only bringing them up just to make a point. And it was an issue over a contract, right? So what the conscious community can learn from even an incident like that is that consciousness does not necessarily translate into business intelligence. That's key. So when you say it's hard when you're in the liberation fight, we can be more precise even than that. If you're building institutions for liberation, it's hard when you're building institutions. So, because that's nothing new, right? Because African-centered education is not new within the black community, then don't make it hard. You go to those individuals and those networks who are actively doing what you want to do. So now we're talking about not reinventing the wheel. African-centered education is not new. Building a school is not new. An African-centered school is not new. You surround yourself with
but not in terms of an institution. Not in terms of an institution.
Okay,
like what he was trying to do, that's not new.
Okay,
I mean, excuse me, that is new.
Now what you're doing, okay, a charter school is an institution. All right?
Okay.
A public school is an institution.
An institution of that magnitude.
Right.
Okay, an institution of that magnitude.
Okay, now, there we go. Now, let's talk about that. If a person has never built a doghouse, what makes you think he can build a 35,000 square foot mansion?
But, so you have to build a doghouse before you can build a mansion. But what if you have the tools and the help?
I'm making the. Okay, then now you're back to my point of the infrastructure. Where is the infrastructure that he surrounded himself with people who are actively engaged in?
Listen. No, let me say this though.
Well, I mean,
because
what am I saying? What am I saying?
Wait, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. This is something I've discussed this, like I said, with people over the years. What is it that people want to see? Because people talk about they want to see this business plan. For what? Like what? For what? Because this is what I have. This is what I say. Now, maybe not for you. Wait, hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
Maybe not for you, Mr. Michigan, because I know you are a deep thinker, critical thinker, and all of that. And, all of this, but you really care. But, a lot of times when people say stuff like that, and they're like, oh, well, where's the business plan, and where's this, and where's that? People are just using that as excuses. Why not to support a person? why not to financially contribute because they may feel some sense of guilt or whatever. So then the story becomes, well, I ain't seen any paperwork. I don't know what paperwork. It's funny. Now this is a joke, but for real. When black folk, when it's a black person that asks black folk for some money for something, all of a sudden, honey, black people become accountants. They become engineers, contractors. They're the damn professor, the damn president of a dang college. All of a sudden, they're so astute in all of these areas. And see, because if he's going to build it, the engineering, see, and for his payroll, he would have to have side out. You know what I mean? So people then go into all of a sudden they have all of this professional experience and all of these fields they know nothing about. But that's all. A lot of time, not everybody, but that's to keep from having to give $1 to somebody. It's an excuse.
Right. Well, let's but the flip side. Right quick, the flip side. Then I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna move my mic. Here's the flip side to that, though. Individuals who are engaged in business development know that it's necessary to have your feasibility in place to make sure that you understand, is this sustainable? This is what black business, this is why most of them fail. Is it sustainable? How will we sustain it? Is it for profit? Is it tuition based? Right? Where's the tuition come from?
Let me ask you this.
Has there been a study done to say individuals are willing to pay for out of their pocket cash for African-centered education? This is critical shit. This is critical shit, Renee. This ain't no joke.
And black folks went out here and go to the store and buy a pack of Newport 2-3 times a day.
That's a separate issue.
Once every day.
That's a separate issue, Renee.
I have a perfect example.
And then you say, can you give $5 for? Well, I need to see his business plan. What? I mean, not to come wrong. I just listen when other people come. Like for instance, when other people come, like you know how to be people who say, "Oh, we're collecting money for this and that." Now listen, don't get me wrong. Like I'm not saying that people should just willy-nilly be out here. Yeah, here's money. No, and I know people can get screwed. I know all of that. But I'm just saying, it just seems a different energy when it's black folk asking black folk for money, and it's not the church, and it's not Pastor so-and-so, it's not past Reverend Chicken Wing, but if it's them asking for money, oh, yes, Lord, yes, let me write a check. But if it's something outside of that framework, and you asking black, and you say, can you just donate $5? I need to see.
Right.
I need to see every business plan. Do you know how to read a business plan? I'm a learn. You know what I'm saying? People don't even know none of this stuff, and not you, because I know you do. I'm just saying outside of that. People don't even know these things, and they're asking them because they don't want to support black liberation. Like, people just feel like that's a pipe dream anyway. You know? Yeah.
Are you familiar with Tariq Nasheed?
Very, 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 very. Very much so.
Yeah. Okay. I bring him up because Tariq Nasheed, I don't know how long you've been following him, but back in the day, he started off writing books, right? And then he grew from there, and he became so popular that he started to get into TV, working with MTV and stuff like that. Then he grew from there and branched off and started doing his own things, making the Hidden Color films, etc., etc. Now, way back in the MySpace days, and even before that, see, I've been following Tariq Nasheed since the MySpace days, right? And even back then, he was getting a lot of slack from his own people and other people saying, "Oh, well, you can't write no books. You know, oh, the next book is gonna flop. Oh, well, you never made a movie before. You never worked in TV or film before. So how you gonna try to do TV now? How you gonna try to produce a movie now?" Now look at him.
Fact.
And they said black people did not want to pay for the type of movies that he's making.
That's
But look
right.
at him. He's had the #1 movie on Amazon several times. Hidden Colors was #1 series on Amazon for a very long time. It's also
right.
the #1 movie. What's the other movie he came out with? 1804. You know what I'm saying? 1804 was crushing the competition. The big leagues, not just no other little conscious documentaries, no offense, but he was competing with the big leagues. White movies, Asian movies, all type of shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they said he couldn't produce or make no movies. So look at what black power, money, and economics did when we put our dollars together to build what Tariq Nasheed created with these movies.
Yeah.
That's
you
all
know
I
what?
gotta say.
And that's an excellent point. Wait, hold on, brother. Let me say this. If anybody's on the line and you have your line muted, you can unmute your line. You know, we're just talking. We got about 26 minutes left before the end. And I wanted to say that, no, I totally hear you and I agree 100%. Because, you know, yeah, people are like, he don't know what he's doing. But really, he just got down to it and did it. You feel me? And he did have people that supported him, but it was a lot of naysayers. And I think if you do have your really heart set on into doing something, you can do it. But with Umar, he is just too brilliant. I'm telling you, that's the problem. He's a dark-skinned, black, dark-skinned man. He's, an imposing figure. He's a big man, tall man. He speaks directly. He doesn't cut corners. Even with the whole thing with the stripper, he kept on pushing. He kept on moving. He didn't let that destroy him or knock him off the square, which I respect that. And he gets all type of criticism. And I just would want to say this, that I am not sure about the money. Let me say that again. I'm not sure about the money. I don't know. I donated money. It was a small amount. It was nothing but $20. But I don't know what the deal is. And I don't know if he is taking or using the money or if he's not. So I'm not going to be, and that's my problem with a lot of people. They don't even know that. And black folks have been out here screaming at the top of it, he's a beast. And it's always people who ain't gave a penny. It's always the people who ain't gave one red cent. He's scamming people out of their money. You don't give a damn about no scamming. You just want to have somebody to talk about because you don't have any proof that he scammed anybody. The only proof you can say, well, he hasn't had the school yet. Okay. But him not having the school yet doesn't necessarily translate that he went and scammed all these people out of their money. That doesn't mean that their money's even accessible to him right now. But let me say, I want to ask Mr. Michigan this. What would be the problem? What would be the problem if the school is for profit? So what? What would be the problem in that? He may have dropped.
Did people drop?
Shit.
I think he did, yeah. Okay, well, dang, I wanted to, and you know, if you drop during this time, you can't get back on because you can't call back in. So, but I'll catch him on the next time. But, yeah. Go ahead, brother.
You know, Renee, and it's funny, like any initiative that people try and set up to establish any form of institution, let's say a school or something. I've been watching closely the Black Business School. You're familiar with it. For over now, it's going to be a year now. And what I've discovered from this brother and his people that he constructed, within now going on 3 years next year, he is now able to establish an actual facility building for his school. And I think it's in Chicago or Philly. And this is done in a short period of time. And this is a year after Omar start the initiative of gathering money to purchase a school to start the Frederick Douglass Academy. So it makes me think now, reflecting on people's direction and how they want to take it. You got to be organized. And if your vision is very big, like really big, then you better be prepared that the people that like our people is going to support enough where it's going to make some move where you get this building as very quickly as possible. And you see, the problem with a lot of these cats, they think big, but don't understand that you have to have things structured in place or plans A, B, and C if things don't go through. And I feel that's not what's been done enough. Because I think he could have got St. Joseph still, but I think the timing, direction.
Where are all these accounts?
Huh? I would say he might have attained it, you know, because I'm not sure how much was it? It was like $1.5 million. I'm thinking to myself, well, damn, that is a lot of money. And you asking our community that either wants to give money or not, we're the last to give money to any individual, depending on if they're well known now, that amount of money in a short period of time for the access to get something like that. So reflecting back, say, you know, maybe the asking for something like that might be too high. This is my opinion. I'm not saying no man should do it, but I'm saying to really push onto that, say that is your goal. You always gotta have different plans set aside. If plan A don't fall, we gotta have plan B and C. My money gonna collect because not everything's gonna fall according to plan. And me watching Omar, and not just him, but anybody, it makes evidence that if any black man or black woman gonna plan anything in regards to building an institution, you gotta set a real straight plan how you want to go about this. It is necessity now, more than, especially the way the tax bill is, because you just talked about earlier in the show, and I missed that part, that it's going to get rough out here. You know? Some of us that even if we lucky to make $100,000 to $250,000, that's still not enough to get off the tax break. So this is going to hurt a lot of small business, any business trying to keep off.
Who's making $250,000?
More than $1 million.
You said what? Oh, you said unless you make it. Oh, okay. I'm about to say, who's making that? All right, go ahead.
No. For anybody to get the tax break, from what they say, you have to make over $500 million.
Right.
I mean, $500,000. You know what I'm saying? Anything less than that, you don't get the break. So we know there's certain business out here that's small. They accumulate, let's say, $250,000, maybe $100,000 a year, depending what business they're in. But they're not nowhere close to accumulating that, you know. So the thing that these Republicans did, which they're all the same, Democrat Republicans are the same at the end of the day, they did that intentionally so they're able to cut off the middleman. Maybe completely now, because anybody that's trying to start a small business, you're going to be struggling, which your business might not survive.
Yeah.
And if you black, if you start a business, you're definitely business not going to survive if you're not really careful. I mean, this is saying.
Well, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. And the thing about it is, yeah, it's only going to get rougher. But I wanted to say, this is a line from Kanye West. No. This is from Jay-Z. I don't remember what song. Maybe I can. I'm trying to remember what song. Oh, Already Home, off of what's the one album? The song is Already Home. But anyway, in the song he said, everybody want to tell you how to do it, they never did it. And it's like, that's so real. You know what I mean? Like, everybody can tell this man how to do this. And where's all of these institutions at then? Because everybody knows how to build an institution. Like, it's just really, it's just wild to me. And then Kanye had a line in that Cruel Summer where he said, if you can do it better than me, then you do it. You feel me? So it's not that people can't have like criticism and things. I mean, absolutely. But some people go so far, like they are just this major, engineer slash accountant, whatever, and they know all the ins and outs and what everything is going to cost and what. It's just a lot. It's just a lot, and it's sad. It's kind of sad because here we are in 2017, about to be 18, and we still sitting up here struggling to get one institution like this built. One institution of this magnitude. We struggling to do one, y'all. And in terms of these HBCUs and stuff, we know that those are not really owned or operated by us or funded. I mean, there's some other things going on. So it's like, damn, we struggling this hard, and people want to talk about progress. We have made progress, and where? We can't even get on board with this. You know what I mean? People act like it's just crazy. Well, let me give y'all this quote, because I think I said this before, but this is one of my favorite ones by Malcolm X, Honorable Malcolm X. And he said, whenever a black man cares for his people, empowering them and preaching truth, they will always focus on his mistakes, his flaws, and his contradictions. They want to illegitimize his message, stop his progress, and the hope for the people. And that's just so real with him. And so with this, when he's going to court or whatever, oh, that's so awful. And I'm going to be honest with you. I know there is the whole BIE thing, and I know Umar is watched and monitored, all of that stuff. But y'all know, there's a lot of black folk trying to basically snitch on him. Like, let's keep it funky. And it's just like the damn plantation. Yep. It's just like the plantation, and you got the damn coon or whatever, and they showing the slave movies and everything. And you have black folk who are plotting or who are trying to do this over here, the betterment of the collective. And you always got these other bootlicking Negroes who run NASA. Master, do he have a college degree, Master? Master, he over here asked for $2, Master. And like I said, these people who ain't gave a damn dime. And that was my message to somebody. If you ain't gave no money to him, why are you that concerned? Because this was a person who actually was trying to contact this school. And it was me and this one sister, I won't really say her name, but she's out of Chicago. And she was like friends with one of my friends, and she's like a well-known activist or whatever there. And she has had an axe to grind on this man. This is before the conscious stripper or any of that. Any of that. So she was somebody, she was saying then that he was like a womanizer or whatever. Now, I don't know if something went down with them, which is what I kind of felt like. And that was her whole, thing, because she was super pissed. And she was putting up this stuff talking about, yeah, we're going to find out if you got them degrees. And she was doing all of this research. She was calling around. And I called such and such, and this is the information they gave me. And then I'm like, what? And yeah, he's sitting up here and he's sleeping with women. That she was like, he's sleeping with some women.
He's a straight man.
Oh wow, this is amazing, man. Hey, a man's a man, man.
She was like, he's sleeping with women and not calling them. She was like, then he don't really want to be with them or.
How they know? How they know?
Right. And if he don't, okay. I don't know what to say about that. Does that mean then that we should not listen to what he's saying about the school to prison pipeline and the drugging of black boys because he messed with a couple of women or whatever, and things didn't work out, whatever the case was. I didn't hear nothing about him ever raping nobody, sexually abusing nobody. I didn't ever hear nothing about him being homosexual. I didn't ever hear nothing about him being with a white woman. So, I mean, what do you want me to do? So me and her kind of, like, we got into it for real, actually. But, yeah. And
how long ago was this, Renee?
Probably, like, 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
hey, you know,
probably about 4 years ago now.
We have this Me Too movement going on, and a lot of black men are being put under the radar right now, man.
Oh, yeah.
So any black man going to have to be very careful. So, you know, way out of sync with Omar and all that, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get him on that shit, too. Because they got
they made it.
That I didn't know of. I know I like the Tara Smileys and these so-called dudes. And say, hey, I thought casual sex was not a crime. But it seems to me a lot of these so-called white feminists and some of the black females that fall under that stupid shit are falling right in line with that shit. And I always want to, and Renee, you need to go purpose on this. And this should be the main question we ask all so-called feminists. A show should be done especially on this. They say, okay, since there's an issue with men and women in the workforce, since they can't interact and like regular people, what is the solution then? And I would ask all these so-called feminists because they're the ones that I'll tell you what. In my mind, I know what the solution is going to be. They rather have a separation where they want just men on one side and females on one side.
I don't know, but
listen.
I had some feminists.
This is a homosexual.
I had some feminists that.
This is a homosexual.
I had some feminists that we were on a show, and they were supposed to be coming with. Well, this one chick, she was supposed to be coming with. Okay, no, she was supposed to be coming on my show as a guest, like, that next week. And so she had seen that I'm on, you know how I put up, we was going to do a show called The Hot Seat. Because this particular chick, probably some of y'all may know, but this particular chick, she had said a lot of things. So I called her out on it. And so I was like, and that's why I got her to come on. And, it was going to be the hot seat. And so she was going to answer a bunch of questions because she be on that feminist bull crap. And so a lot of the fellas was like, they couldn't wait for that show. So she was going to come on the next week. Now, I post up my stuff for my shows or whatever. So I guess she's seen my flyer or whatever that I was on at that time. And so she called in the show. And I'm trying to remember what we were talking about. I can't remember, but I had like 3 or 4 brothers on my panel. And here she come. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, here she come on there with her friend or something was on the line too. And then they start going into, see, this is why I laugh at a lot of stuff. Because these heifers went into how I'm basically a mammy for black men, how I only love and respect black men. I'm not down for the sisters. They went into a whole tangent on the show, okay? Then she went on Facebook and made a damn post about it, and somebody sent it to me because she, I think she blocked me on Facebook, which I didn't know why, but she unblocked me. I'm like, girl, what? Like, I don't care. Anywho, I'm not even down with none of that stuff. I don't even block people and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anywho, like, whatever. So she put up this post on me, y'all, and she was like, she went into a whole thing, and she hates black women. Y'all, this is why this stuff be so funny to me. She was like, she only has black men on her show. She only likes black men, blah, 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 blah. Y'all, why was there like 12 people on there who was commenting on me, saying, and somebody said, they was talking about Dawa. They was like, I used to listen to her or whatever, but she's not for the sisters.
You know,
and
Oh man,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
it's so funny you say that because
Wait.
I know
Psycho,
exactly.
we said something.
Go ahead.
Let him finish, Brother E.
I was just saying
No,
it's so
I
funny.
asked one question before Psycho was in. Kind of second. Was this a show that was done a 10-hour live stream on YouTube?
Oh, no. This was just on Blog Talk. This was like about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Psycho. Go ahead,
I was just gonna say it's funny you say that because I know exactly what you're talking about. But you know that feels that just show you doing something right because you know you got these because the bitter war people are gonna look at you like you a traitor to the agenda and they're gonna call you a mammy just like they'll try to call me a simp or whatever. I'm a traitor to my gender, this that there, and all that means is I don't bash black women. If I don't bash black women, that means you're a simp. So I take my simp motherfucking card with pride, motherfuckers, because I tell you this much. All you motherfuckers be running around here screaming, I'm an alpha male and alpha male this and alpha male that. Well, an alpha male will need to stand around a pack of other fucking alpha males can't be around other alpha males. An alpha male only could be around beta males. So you can't be around. It can't be a whole ass load of people around, and everybody's claiming to be an alpha male. Let's get that part straight right there. And then you can't be an alpha male if you're sitting around here bickering with women all day long, like you trying to be an alpha female. That's what it looked like to me with a lot of these dudes. So they need to get their shit together. But so I understand exactly what you're talking about. But then it's funny because I'll check these little big time women who's over the top, these little male bashers that want to talk shit about black men all day long. They call me misogynist. You know, so it's hilarious. So it's like I got both sides pissed off at me. So I really don't care because I don't give a damn about neither one of them. Both of y'all can all go. You know, I don't care. Y'all disgust me. All you bitter war people, male and females, y'all disgust me. Y'all Willie lynched out. I don't got no time for none of y'all negativity. And y'all mad because I don't want to play your little stupid game. Play your games by yourself. Alright?
But Michael, this is why they mad at you. Because you have balance.
Right.
And that's why they can say that about me too. Because anytime you have balance, you're not going to sit up and be bashing nobody. But if there's things that you find, you know, issues with and critical, you're going to speak on them too. Like, you can do both. I don't get why people don't understand that. You can love and you can support and you can uphold, and uplift. And you can also have constructive criticism, or you can have, you know, things that you want to address or talk about as relates to certain people or certain groups of people. You can do that. Like, you can do both. It doesn't make you, like, one or the other. I don't get why these people, but yeah, on any given day, so just like you, any given day I'm a feminist, or any given day I am a mammy or handmaiden for black men.
People don't even know what feminist means. It's
I hate the
disgusting.
sisterhood.
Half the people that, matter of fact, more than half, I'll say 90% of the people that run around here screaming that feminist crap don't even know what feminist is.
Nope.
For real, they really don't. If you ask them what a feminist is, they won't even be able to give you a coherent definition.
Nope.
They want to give you the history of that shit. That's how bad it is. And let me say one thing. And not only these people don't have a sense of balance, but there's a new term I like to call both these people that have an issue with the opposite sex. A new term for black males. Anytime you're swirling, and I got this from you know how we call them now bed bugs, because when you fuck with something you get bugs.
Right.
They've been with that man, bed bugs. And we had to call it out as this because their behavior is the reflection of this. So why the fuck you find another black man that eats this black woman? Are you a faggot? Are you a coon? First off, look at me. I don't give a fuck how much white pussy you fuck. You better show us respect when you come on actually like a line. Why would we condone your behavior on this side if you have no problem with swirling or bed bugging, like to call it? These motherfuckers need to get themselves checked. Real talk, man. both the men and women. Real talk. And Psycho, one other thing. I want you to message me on Facebook just in case you do your live stream on YouTube. I want to join the little discussion on the and hang on the YouTube. All right, please send me a message. All right.
No doubt.
And that is it for me tonight.
So, all right, you guys, we're about to the end of the show, getting ready to cut off. It was a really, I don't even know, is anybody else still on the line? You want to say goodbye? I ain't even been back to my screen, so.
I would say it's a good show, and
okay, brother,
it's good that I came back on.
Okay.
I enjoyed the show. I'm still online.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Okay, let me say this real quick, because I just want to get this out before it cuts off. So yeah, I want to thank everybody who tunes in, everyone who will tune in the archives or on YouTube, on Psycho page. Please subscribe if you haven't. I know he has another channel too, so maybe we'll start trying to do some stuff on there too, because, honey, YouTube is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, but thanks you guys, and yeah, I know it's a holiday or something coming up.
All I know is the plantation shut down. I'm just happy the plantation shut down.
All the plantations are shut down today. They closed the plantations early today, and they shut down till next week. And honey, yeah. So anyway, for y'all slaves, that's all, like me and others. Now, much love to everybody, for real. We getting ready to go into a new year. I thank y'all, appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are everything. And, we're going to keep on going. We got a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff going on. So we got to stay on top of it. But with that, that's all I have to say.
And stay on code as well.
Absolutely. Stay on code.
Definitely. Yeah, I want to give
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, Blog Talk just shut down. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to everybody up in the live chat that was listening. Shout out to Jazz and Justice. Shout out to Juicy. Shout out to Africa Black Chaos. Shorty Womp Womp. JW. Shout out to Nikki Justice. Shout out to let's see who else was up in the chat today. I'm drawing blanks. Water Sniper was in there. I think I saw Muchacha. What's good with you, Muchacha? Let's see who else I saw up in there. Let's see, I saw D Red. Was good with you. Shout out to you. And let's see who else. I'm scrolling. I can't see too many other people. Global African tribalism. Damn, that's a long name, bro. I gotta take a deep breath before I say that. Truthfully honest, everybody that was listening, shout out to all y'all. We appreciate it. We definitely gonna be doing a live stream again this weekend. Like Renee said, we'll probably be doing something on the other channel, so make sure you subscribe to that. Make sure you click the like button if you haven't already. Make sure you click that bell as well. And the other channel, the link is in the description. So be sure to click on that. And you also, let's not forget Renee Black Graphics. She does graphic designs, logos, whatever you need. She does excellent work. She does all the flyers on the show. So I saw Shorty ask earlier, did she do the flyer? Yes, she did. She does all the flyers. So hit her up on Facebook at Renee Black Graphics, RBG for short. I want to say peace and black power to the family. Once again, check y'all out maybe tomorrow. So holla at y'all later. We out.